Jämnt, Janis loja po nëzëjmë ishtë të pak. Edhe një 14 minuta dhe Janis, 15 minuta. بس minuta idemo, Janis. Sporrok, Drake. Ale 3 minuta, děl. Ce jenom, třeba jdu moc sekund.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the
Hello.
European Masters. We are here with finals day, baby. We've got 3 best of 3s coming up. Going to be an absolute corker today. Really looking forward to these games. It is myself, Scriv, and Nailkai to take you through all the action this afternoon. Oh man, yes, it's going to be a long one for us, but as said, you know, we've got all these games coming up. Of course, the grand final, only 1 spot available for it. And we've got some bangers to start off as well. CLOUD9 against Bad News Eagles, Voivoda against Aurora. This is going to be an exciting day, my friend.
It is. It really is. You know, there's 2 potential rematches on as well heading in towards the final. CLOUD9 Aurora already played. CLOUD9 won 16-10. It was pretty comfortable. Voivoda and B&E already played. It was 16-4. So, who knows how things are going to pan out. Of course, looking towards Group A first, where CLOUD9 pretty comfortably made their way through that group as expected. Aurora really had to work in towards that lower bracket, and Domination nearly with the upset.
Yeah, it was a very close one for them. So, you know, I think they'll be counting their lucky stars that they've made it this far. But ultimately, a really solid kind of day coming through from Aurora. CLOUD9 on their back. Meanwhile, the Group B side of things, much more random, I suppose. You know, It was very, very surprising here. Voivoda making their way through. BNE just about scraping in. It was a close one against Eternal Fire to get there. It was a close one against iNation to get there. So they had you know, a worse day than they were hoping for, I suppose, but they still do make it through, and, you know, they now have to face off against Cloud9, so it doesn't get any easier coming in. But the Group B side of things did have a number of surprises in store for us, so that's always good, always exciting. But ultimately, we get two teams that I think, you know, we're expecting from both groups. The clear favorites coming through, Eternal Fire. Unfortunately, we don't get to see them, but yeah, we'll be watching closely Voivoda, whether they've got it for the best of threes or whether it is just the BO1 merchants.
You know, they're a massive dark horse. You know, the real kind of upset potential and the aura around Voivoda. They're often an overlooked team, not only as kind of casters and analysts, but as players too. And I think going in towards yesterday, the likes of both Eternal Fire and B&E just didn't give them the respect that they deserve. These are formidable opponents. These guys have been the absolute top of the top in Tier 2. You cannot look over Voivoda. If you look back in the previous years of the best teams in 2022, Fiend and Skade are up there. Best teams Skade again. I mean, you can't really discount the Bulgarian regions as a Counter-Strike, and we're seeing it, of course, as of yesterday. However, the best of one. Best of ones are a little bit of a gamble at times. Little bit comes down to kind of who just showed.
Yeah, it's going to be tougher today. It's going to be a lot tougher, and they might, you know, not get the Inferno middle ground that they want. There'll be a few more punish picks in there, right? And, you know, we may be questioned coming in, are they going to be, you know, guessing around and not respecting their opponents? Well, it didn't seem to be the case. They absolutely made mince Aura right. First half, not perfect, but the second half, they absolutely demolished it. Only lost one round in their second half of Counter-Strike. So breezing past their opponents quite easily. You know the team. You know how it goes at this point. Shiro popping off, absolutely just carrying the team through on that Mirage against Aurora. Axile also present in the game, not needed as much, I suppose, because Shiro was taking all the kills. And even in the first game as well, we had Nafany kind of leading from the front as well. So they've all shown what they are capable of. The Cloud9 coming in as expected, looking good.
And, you know, for us as well, who cover a lot of the Tier 2 circuit, especially the upper echelon of Tier 2, we see, you know, very good teams. And then when you step up into Cloud9, you just see the difference, right? I mean, they were so well drilled, uniformed in their approach to Mirage. I mean, it was a joy to watch it. You got to give them credit. They were so good in terms of how they approached each and every round, how they're able to pull apart their sides. B&E, they have definitely got some tough work ahead of them. I mean, of course, a very good side and a lot of respect given over to these guys, 21st ranked in the world. And yesterday, Juan Flacho was on fire, and he can bring in some of that form heading in towards today's game. Then potentially we can see something on the cards where B&E can, you know, start opening the door to an upset. The big hitters we're looking at, Juan Flacho, Rigon, the two hero riflers, the stars of the show here. GX had a very quiet day yesterday as the main AWPer, and that will be problematic because someone's got to stop Shiro, and GXX is going to be the first port of call. And if GXX slows down today the way he started slow yesterday, Shiro will run riot.
Yeah, that is one of the big things that I'm worried about, whether GXX can answer in. It's going to be a toughie if he does not, you know, at the very least, even match up kind of 3/4 of the way to Shiro. So we shall see on that front. But as you said, the riflers really strong. I think that B&E, if they can get those riflers activated, do have a chance here. It's still, I think, going to be a tough one. I think that Cloud9 are coming in, great run of form off the back of Pro League at the moment. There's maybe a map in there that, you know, B&E could find to try and abuse them, but ultimately I don't think that they're going to be able to get the leg up on this one. We'll see. Maybe a 3-mapper. That's kind of what we'd want. Let's have a look at the veto then. Our first best of 3, our first proper, fully fledged veto to see how this one goes down.
Yeah, well, B&E, they're a very puggy side. I'm expecting one of the Mirage or the Inferno to come through. They played them both yesterday. It will be Mirage. I don't mind this at all. However, we saw in Group A on day 1 about how well Cloud9 played on Mirage 2. So that one's already going to be a test. Then we go into Vertigo, and that for me is a concerning sign. If you look, you know, Cloud9, 100% win rate that they've got on Vertigo right now, and if you look at the teams that they've played recently, it's the likes of G2, who they battered. If you saw that one not too long ago, it was a massacre by Cloud9. They beat them 16-6. They played End 16-13 and IEM Katowice playing, and in Pro League, the most recent game they played was against Outsiders, again, another 16-9. Limiting your opponents, not even getting double digits against you. And then when it's G2 and Outsiders, you've got the best team in the world currently, and the current major winners, and you're not even allowing them to get 10 rounds. I think B&E are in for a potentially a tough one. Mirage, it's a must-win for B&E because Vertigo is going to be very, very shaky. I think there's a world in which you see a 3-mapper. However, it all comes down to that Mirage for me.
Yeah, I think there's a slim one. I'm going to give it to CLOUD9 2-0, I think, because, you know, they played the Mirage already twice in this tournament, and they were very, very ready for that map to come out. It's really scary here. It is really scary. The BNE, you know, the Vertigo that we saw yesterday was kind of decent. Eternal Fire looked timid, looked nervous, but it wasn't like BNE ran away with that map. So I don't know that they're as, you know, confident into it. They were much faster, much more aggressive on that T side, and that's going to be something that Cloud9 will be ready for. The ramp takes on the CT end will be much more put together than Eternal Fires. You know, things like that will be very difficult. So yes, it does feel like a lot of this is going to be decided on Mirage, and I just think that Cloud9, with the way they were approaching things, Axel doing his own thing, Shiro taking over the game twice on Mirage, right, the other day, I think that that's going to be too much to deal with.
I agree. I really think Cloud9 playing some seriously good Counter-Strike on towards their Mirage. They were so good on the T side and just kind of dictating the pace. I mean, the game ran by their tune. It ran by their storyline. Whatever they wanted to do, it happened. And it doesn't matter kind of who they come against. Even against well-drilled side like Aurora, it's still...
Yeah, certainly. I think, you know, it's really going to be a difficult one to pan out, to understand how things are going down, to be honest with you. It's really looking scary, to be honest. It's going to be a difficult one. Going to be a very difficult one to predict. We are getting into the action, though, as no knife round. Nearly caught myself. It will be just straight into the action, of course. BNE starting off on that CT side of things as Cloud9 with the map pick. Makes sense. Everything checks out. Let's see how things pan out here. We will have a hero buy for Shiro as he's given the utility and the P250. And it looks like an A-burst to come through.
Yeah, already. C9, we already spoke about how good their T side was. But Rigon getting a lot of space to work with in towards mid already. This is information being gathered. I'm liking this. For B&E, they can start to get a read on towards Cloud9, but certainly going to be tested.
Very early on indeed. Oh, great shot coming in. Will give some control across. Another one comes through. The flank is there. Goodness gracious, this is dominating. B&E not wasting any time, playing very aggressive indeed. And they will just absolutely mow through Cloud9.
What a start, right? What a statement by B&E. No respect shown. Rigon, couple of taps from him. He will see off Axile and Buster too. What a start for B&E. A flawless round as they just make an early statement that Cloud9 are going to have to pull off something magic to take Mirage from them. It's a confident pick to come in towards this one. And my, oh my, Cloud9, not exactly the dream start for them by any means. B&E, that is everything they could ask for. Not only finding the round, it's flawless. And on top of that too, that Cloud9 don't even get a bomb plant. Everything going in their favor to start off here. Cloud9, back to the drawing board.
Immediately have some decisions to make then, as it's not going to start as they would want. BNE, this is a top level game for them. They'll be bringing their A game. We did see, you know, some messiness against iNation in particular yesterday. But this game will be all to play for, and they know that. Juan Flatro going to be the first to open up for the CT side. Quick boost coming in towards stairs. Not really going to be able to find anything off the back of it. Dink
For moments, gets a little tag. Within B&E, the ecos and force buys were problematic and also successful for them, making sure they're limited. And of course, now, as that was a full investment by C9, we're going to see another sort of middling buy. Scout coming out for Shiro, but aside from that, just a couple of upgraded pistols to work with.
Na fani djem po rrjeti ka një Ronald ka rrjetin Kosovë. Ka janon.
looking very likely indeed.
Katastrof.
So a keen start for BNE.
Inshallah fitojmë.
Absolutely what they wanted to kick off this campaign. You know, picking up the pistol, man, always has an awful lot of weight behind it. There is a small threat in this round. Down goes one of them as Axel will fall there with the Deeg. But generally looking pretty good on that BNE side of things, and really impressive to see. Very well put together in the early rounds, and I think, you know, given the kind of history of where this team is at, they need the confident rounds to go in their favor early on to just keep things close, keep things competitive. GXX does bite off a bit more than he can chew. The rest of the team looking all good. Juan Flatro eats a tag here, but he's got some support, so he's all good, and that's the third going the way of BNE.
Well, there we go. You know, like we said, it's a sort of expected round. There's such a minimal investment coming through. Just that scout picked up by Shiro. Here's where we get a test. Here's where we get a real look in. Full buy coming out for Cloud9. And this one has to turn the tides of momentum if they want to be looking in towards a decent T-side of Mirage. Right now, early doors, but he's slightly slipping away from them. Not often you get to say that for Cloud9. But BNE, they're taking it to them. They're not showing respect. And I want to see more of that heading in towards round number 4. GXX in towards an AWP. Smoked off the angle. Does he take a pop shot? He does. To no avail. Rumbles to come through. It's going to be the case. Nafny over towards mid. Nobody showing their presence over towards BNE. Giving up that space, just getting info.
Nice nade. Tiny bit of damage, though. It looked like it was going to do more than that. GXX mollied out. Life made very awkward indeed. Looking around middle here on the BNE side, trying to take the game to Cloud9. Cloud9 not really giving it. We did see this quite a bit, especially against Aurora. They were playing very, very slow, very, you know, just winding the clock down, going for those late round executes. Classic CIS sort of style, and it sort of spoke to a unsurety against the opponents that they're playing against. So maybe we're going to have that plague them again today, is that, you know, they just don't quite know how to approach against BNE specifically. So they're playing their own game as heavily as they possibly can and not giving BNE the chances. Contact play out through Palace. Going to move very, very fast indeed then. Nade might just take down the player in towards Sandwich. It does indeed, but not before he finds a frag. And once again, pumping the brakes on. Trying to work their way out. Buster gets a flash in, but GXX has not really been dealt with. He doesn't know where to look, however. It's making life very difficult for him. Molotov comes in. There's still a player on the side itself. 20 seconds to get this bomb down. Smoke dissipating. Flash comes round towards CT. Great position for Juan Flatro. Only able to get one. But is it enough to deny the bomb plant away? Hobbit's got to win this fight, and he's just denied the chance at it. So they don't really have anywhere to plant the bomb right now. To be honest, Rigon will find two. That will spell the end of the round. Easy does it for BNE.
Cloud9 being put through the ringer right now. Nothing going their way. They continuously tried to push over towards the A side. They're never going to give up that control. But BNE, they're so deep-rooted over there. Like we were talking about, you know, GXX in towards CT with the AWP, holding and waiting. While Flatcher's still tucked on site. And the hero player steps up with a hero moment. Fantastic from him, but it's all down to Rigon. Single-handedly winning that round out, denying the bomb going down. And time is of the essence. CIS Counter-Strike, they love to play things slow, methodical, but it can come back to bite them because they leave things too little, too late. 4-0. But Nafny, great start.
Where to go now, BNE? A man down. They will be kicking themselves as they let that first one escape from them. It's been a very good campaign so far. Would be quite something if they could keep these rounds coming in, but ultimately it's going to be a real challenge to hold on to the rounds. Cloud9 not going to make it easy for them at all. Again, slow start for Cloud9. Oh, big frag onto Hobbit. Juan Flatro catches him lurking. Molotov going to go in. That splits them up here as well. Nafny wins his fight, thankfully, against Rigon. Big frag leaves the B-bomb site completely open. 3 versus 3 now on the retake.
Space to work with for BNE. This post plant pretty strongly set up. They're taking a lot of control here. And you see the crossfire as well. Spotting towards short. 2 bodies, 3 in fact. And Axel getting tagged out left, right, and center. But they're walking straight into the trap. It's Nafny in close to get right. It's a free kill for him at the center. And just like that, he's going to call it out of there. Molotov coming through. Does he push through it? Nafny is going to decide to keep going, keep hunting. The AWP going to post stop. Who's going to win the fight? It's going to be Axel, who falls to the hands of GXX. So he's keeping the big green in play. But it's going to be C9 finding their first round on the board. Finally, after what had been a long old run coming through where B&E were in complete control, C9 will find success. We have lost Shiro. So hopefully we can get him back in the server in just a second. But a great round, a great turnaround as well coming through. It all comes on the back of Nafany. Double entries for him. And then plays the post-bomb so well too. Single-handedly finding a lot of success in towards that round. I think the big thing I'm really asking for is Shiro to come online. We really haven't seen him make the impact that we were sort of hoping of. And hence why, on the other side, GXX is having those moments. We're seeing individuals like Rigon step up to the plate because they're not being punished for being aggressive. They're not being punished for being overzealous. And normally Shiro is the go-to hitman. He is the guy you call upon to punish them. But he's been a little bit quiet so far.
I think ultimately by virtue of not having the AWP out too much is one of the things. So, you know, he's been made to feel uncomfortable in the early stages of the game. So we'll see how long that continues for him. He's obviously going to be uncomfortable in this round as well. He's only got 3,500. So it seems just by virtue of winning the rounds, B&E are keeping Shiro at bay. But now that Cloud9 are on the board, things are going to change.
Very true. We're just waiting for Shiro to ready up, and then we are all good to go. I think he's had a little crash of the PC. Shiro in towards the Scout. I think it's round number 6. So as you mentioned, no AWP in play for him, but he's still going to pick up a scoped weapon anyway. For B&E, no problems reinvesting. They already converted the bonus round. So plenty of money left in reserve for them to rebuy in. AWP kept in play too is the important one. Speaking of, GXX posted up. No smoking towards windows of just yet. Buster will find the first as when Flatro drops. That's an important kill.
Yeah, they're trying to get aggressive on towards ramp. B&E massively punished over there. They will be kicking themselves. It was their move. It was their idea. Did they necessarily need to go for it? It's tough to say. But unfortunately, as it stands, they will be a man down because of their aggressive move. Really well in from Buster. He was alone and manages to find an opening frag.
Very quiet for C9. Once again, off the back of that opening kill. Not going to make a decision. Holding, waiting. Looking for a mistake to come through. And B&E right now, a lot of A presence. Leaving essentially all down to Synopsy. That B site is extremely vulnerable. But C9 don't know that, fortunately for them. It looks like they're veering in that way.
All power for GXX. Going to be smoked off pretty handily there with a top con smoke. Slow but sure in towards B. Synopsy does get one, needs trading, and he will be dealt with. Shiro gets his hands onto an AK, but look how they burst on towards B here with 3 players of B&E left on that A-bomb site. It's too many. Too many to deal with, and they know it. They are just, you know, cowering over on A, and once the bomb goes down, they'll confirm the save. Cloud9 moving up to 2.
Good round. Yeah, it has to be the safe call. Like we've already spoken about, B&E really had to dip in towards the funds to get a full buy around their saved AWP in towards this round. With 3 remaining alive, though, they should be okay to drop over. I think one Flatcher should be okay to pick himself up one. And potentially the likes of kind of a rig on a center, he can drop over an M4, and it won't be the end of the world. The only thing they might be limited of heading in towards the next is going to be utility. That's the big thing we're sort of questioning ever so slightly. What's the util going to be like over towards B&E, as well as kind of what's the buy? I think with 3 remaining alive, they shouldn't really have too much of an issue, at least getting in towards maybe, a FAMAS, or could even just be the MP9s, upgraded pistols maybe. I think saving around a 3 saves doesn't really make too much sense to me. Go for an investment, try and compete once again. You might have to drop in towards the 5.7s, for example, or the Deagles. We know these guys can make it work, especially the likes of One Flatro. He can hit a couple of shots with the Deag. Need to give him the opportunity, and he will go in towards the old hand cannon. That's Cloud9, 2 in a row for them. And we spoke about this on towards day 1 in Group A. When Cloud9 get the ball rolling, when they get momentum, they can be unstoppable. B&E needs to make sure they cut it short.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about preparation coming into a tournament like this. It's hard for the tier 2 teams because there's so much Counter-Strike going on. That's maybe why Voivoda get a bit cheeky in the BO1s, trying to play their own game, and it's not quite good enough. I think Cloud9, it'll be the same, but their own game is at such a level that it maybe doesn't matter so much if they've not done direct preparation. At the same time, they should handily be taking this entire tournament. So any slip-ups, any, you know, maps dropped that you wouldn't expect, such as if they lose this one out, they've picked into it, you know, for example. It would be a bit of a rarity, so we'll see.
No mid controls taken here by C9. Start things off. Very slow in terms of the approach. This could play into the hands of B&E. 45 seconds to work with. They're looking over towards the A site. Utah's come through as well. Buster holding down the fort. Nobody giving them anything to work off. This is so quiet. And this is where mental fortitude starts to play. It's obviously only into a USPS. No investment for him. He's going to sit in Ninja and hope it works.
Nafany charging forwards. It is going to be an A hit coming in, then a fully fledged A hit at that. Synopsy, the first one to fall in his secret little spot. GXX trying to play around the smokes. Nafany on the entries, though, is just too clean. GXX will catch one in between smokes. It is just the weaponry that was saved that is left. They were hoping for a bit more out from the pistols. Ultimately, they were hoping for it to be a B-sided attack, but it's anything but. Shiro goes flying in, will get taken down. Yet to frag, 0-6, and he is frustrated. He wants his frags. Fight in at middle nearly goes the way of Rigon, but not going to be the case. Nice catch from Tsuneri here. There is a kid available for GXX. Tap onto the bomb. Buster to peek, but he gets taken down by the AWP, and suddenly it's all down to Axel. It's being held, and GXX with the two most important frags will find BNE number 5. It all goes south for Cloud9.
What a round. And I think it all starts with the man you mentioned, Shiro, jumping over towards top stairs. I don't know what the idea there. I think he's assuming they've already called the save. But it was a 4 versus 4. They had plenty of time to work with. So they, of course, are going to give it a go. It's B&E of all people. One of the most aggressive sides we've got in Counter-Strike at the moment. They're, of course, going to give it a go. And it works wonderfully. They just rely on fundamentals, hitting their shots, and GXX doing exactly that. We spoke about it. If anybody's going to keep Shiro at bay, GXX needs to come alive in towards today's game. He was quiet yesterday, but now he is really alive and kicking. This is good to see. GXX hitting shots. Shiro unable to hit one out of just yet. That could be the linchpin to B&E finding a Mirage and potentially opening the door for this series being longer than we would expect.
T-side start from Cloud9. Certainly an interesting choice. Oh,
True.
Barrel spotted. Manflatro. Oh, he wants this kill. He's going to go for it, but he misses the opportunity. Oh, the restlessness gets the better of him, and it will cost him there. Cloud9. Absolutely thankful for that one. Take that every day of the week. See you in a bit.
Yeah, that's a grave error, isn't it? Let's be honest. He's got all the information. You can just see he's on edge. It's like a kid in the toy shop. Just couldn't control himself. Wanted to go and fly in for the kill. And it cost them the man advantage. Repeaking in. GXX is risky. But he's going to find a shot towards Axile. It's a huge kill. As long as he doesn't overextend, Shiro could fall to the same fate. But he finds his first kill.
Loses his life pretty quickly thereafter to Synopsy. At least Nafany's in for the trade, so they'll retain the man advantage. But the bomb has hit the deck. Gives a good idea of where it's going to end up. Scenario gets the better of Buster. Looking for another, but it comes away to Hobbit. And now just Rigon. Going to try and go for it. Try and get ahead of the curve here. Find himself an AK. Plenty of ammo in it. There is a kit. Oh, out on towards the site. Nafany gives his life away pretty quickly. It's just going to be Hobbit with 12 HP. And the hold coming in. Hobbit with the reposition. Can he get here fast enough? Doesn't matter. He's not heard him get on the bomb, Neo. He's not heard him get on the bomb. He's just going to go for the hold, and BNE come away with another one. Again, off the back of some overzealous movement from the Cloud9 players. They're getting ahead of themselves, and this is really starting to cost them.
I think now what we're starting to see is that Cloud9 are expecting this to be a walkover. They're expecting this game to be easy, and it's costing them quite consistently. These post-spawn scenarios are not looking good for Cloud9. They're not looking as lock and key as they have been in the past. They're sending these feelers out so deep when they set up these post-spawns, when they get that bomb down. But B&E just always playing close to sight, close to the action, you know, moving as a pack, essentially, and banking off the back of trades. I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far. Cloud9 in a pretty rough predicament. And as you mentioned kind of earlier, they chose to start T side. It is B&E's map pick. They chose to start on that T side. And right now it's coming back to bite them because things are not looking comfy at all. That's 2 in a row for B&E, and things are starting to move in their favor, and a very good opportunity, well, for both sides. It's a bit of a swing round fight. Whoever wins this one essentially breaks the economy of the other.
Yeah, it feels like there's constantly been buys, despite the fact that, you know, B&E have been finding a fair bit of success. So Cloud9 have not had to eco things out for quite a while, which I suppose is one silver lining that they've got. Maybe the only one at the moment. Oh, rig on it. 12 and 3. Holy moly, this guy is really on it. Yeah, that is a very scary prospect that B&E are not coming to mess around. And we talked about this yesterday, didn't we? They're sort of like a big game team. There has to be some kind of stakes in it. When they were playing iNation, they were forcing, they were going wild, they were running about, they were taking wide swings.
وديام هذه مرة ما والله كمان شو وديام هذا same to fitu. هذا اللي تشوف إنه لطيف.
We'll win eventually. And then it got to overtime, bit of a game reset, and they managed to win it. When they were playing against Eternal Fire, we saw that level that we expect from this team coming in. Really surprising, you know, that Voivoda managed to beat them 16-4. Now against Cloud9, we're seeing some top-tier gameplay from the side of BNE. Pre-firing for Guan. Flatro Buster takes him down, though. What a shot. Axile in behind to make the difference. Just as I was singing the praises, BNE going to be beaten out by the contact A play from Cloud9. At least that's the way that it looks. What can Synopsy get done? Takes a fair bit of damage there off of that one. Waiting for Axile, who creeps up just as he throws the nade to take him down. Cloud9 up to 3.
It's a much better round. That's the Cloud9 we know and love. That's the C9 who can, you know, completely dictate the pace of a round. They needed one of those. They just needed a confidence booster. And as we said, it's a massive swing round. Win that round, they break the other side's economy, and that's exactly what we see. BNE are not going to have money to work with at all heading in towards the next round. So I'm assuming at the very most it's going to be a couple of pistols, and that's about it.
Och Steve kommentu mir och blåser jag också kommentu wallahi.
For B&E, this is a pretty tough position.
Amos Dimir, shabe kommentu, chef. Jag vill ha mig
success they've had.
Chill.
No buy, nothing to work with. Just going to be a round in which C9 should take very
Men fitu jämte fitu.
As you mentioned, the big swing round in the middle of the half goes the way of Cloud9. So, yep, it should be easy pickings here. The Mac 10 to lead the charge for Nafany, make some cashola. That's what we want from him. Axel, meanwhile, on the old lurk play in the apartments. Nearly loses his head, to be fair. 8 HP, the difference in that one. So, Rigon will be a bit frustrated that he's not able to find the frag. It's going to be a B crunch in the end of this round. Synopsy hidden away. The rest of the bodies trying to make their way over. Nice shot from Synopsy. He's not expecting Hobbit so far up. Easy does it. And it'll just be GXX remaining.
Yeah, I mean, USPS. Are we expecting anything? No, just the one consolation kill. On towards the one guy that we're very surprised to see in this position. Shiro has been so quiet. Nice shot from Nafany. Yeah, he'll be on the way out. He has really been hitting shots, to be fair to him. 12 and 7. Shiro right now, 1 and 8. And actually could be a pretty key indicator of kind of why C9 are in this position where they are still at a deficit and they are still kind of behind B&E. They haven't got the big man, the third best player in the world as of 2022, hitting his shots. He's just really been all the quiet. Yeah. I mean, T-Side AWPing is at times difficult, very understandable. It's never normally a problem for someone like Shiro, who is such an animal.
Yeah, it's not usually this difficult, you know. I think that's kind of the thing. And he did cost them around a little earlier, so he's certainly not playing to that S-tier game that we're used to. Maybe we'll see more of it out on Vertigo, but a slow start to Mirage. He's now stuck in a rut, as can happen when you go down. You just cannot find a frag, no matter what you do. It does happen to the best of us, as he would be, to be honest. That's usually a phrase that includes, you know, everyone, we're all the best of us, very wholesome. But, in this case, really it is literal. Yeah.
I think right now, you can maybe make the argument second best in the world behind Zywoo. GXX. Back turn will be called by Hobbit. And things might start to fall sideways for B&E in what is just a low buy round once again. Second part of the double eco. Like we were expecting, not too much from B&E overall. If he had a couple of consolation kills, that'd be lovely. But it's asking a lot with just pistols against that full buy. But still take a couple of taps on towards one Flatchers. He's dropped to 19 points of HP. And already fallen by the wayside.
Just about. Oh, Axel with a wide swing on towards one Flatcher. Looked like he had a good position, but not to be. So it will be easily getting this bomb on towards A. They're just, you know, not taking any chances. I think they want to find this round as cleanly as they possibly can. Nice one coming in onto Synopsy. Going to confirm the fact here. Everything looking good. Rigon does find Nafany. Any kill going to be valuable in a round like this, but the trade immediately there. CLOUD9 closing the gap, moving up to 5 quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, that was an expected round, like we said. Second part of the double eco. There's nothing really brought to the table in terms of investment. Everything pans out as expected. Axel will take a tag, but see off the frag pretty comfortably. C9 up to 5. Deficit, slowly but surely, starting to be chipped away now. And B&E, this is an important round. You can even make the argument a must-win round. I feel like if they don't, it might even start locking in CLOUD9 to taking a lead at the turn of the half. Getting ever close to the kind of guaranteed, the needed 8 rounds. Right now, B&E started so strong. And you can see them just getting a little nervy, you know, overextending, over-peaking, and giving C9 opportunities back in towards this game. And most importantly, Shiro's back on towards the AWP. Nafany continuing his hot streak up to 14 frags as another entry goes his way.
Yeah, taking over the game. We saw a snippet of this against Domination, which, you know, a very different caliber of team for sure. Axel going to give his life away, though, just getting a bit giddy on the B-bomb site. Goes in too deep and will be punished for it. So C9 back to the drawing board on that one. And Synopsy's continued pushing, getting a lot of information here.
Very quiet, all down to Synopsy. The IGL leading from the front, leading with a frag on towards the IGL on the other side. Brain versus Brain. It's Synopsy who comes out on top. Oh, Bashiro finding one. Flatcho in towards Palace. It's all crumbling. A 2 versus 3 with a spread around.
Yeah, this gets a little weird. Oh, especially as GXX chimes in. Great shot. The bomb trap then. Just hiding out, waiting for this rotation to come through. It's going to be an awfully long time from Shiro. Hobbit. Just playing the patience game. Can't really go anywhere at this point. Try and stay alive is his goal. And they didn't see the bomb. And with the way that CLOUD9 have been playing, they have had, you know, in this round, and it's been shown that they are split. So they have confused the defense, which was ultimately the goal. And as the time starts to tick down, the bomb will make its way out. Soneri playing very safe indeed. Oh, timing peak, going to drop Hobbit. And Hobbit had cleared out the areas, not quite confident that he could make it in towards the site. There's no time here for Shiro. And that will be number 7 going the way of B&E. They hold on to their lead by the skin on their teeth. CLOUD9 kicking themselves. They let that one fall.
Yeah, no, agreed. That's one of those rounds where it goes down to the play style of CLOUD9 once again. We know they're very slow and methodical in terms of their approach. However, you've got the numbers advantage, and then you're losing one. You bring it back to a 4 versus 4, and you've allowed B&E to sow these kind of deep seeds into how they've set up their defense. Works really well from them. Really solid setup, and C9 once again just unable to read what B&E are cooking over towards our CT side. And right now, it's a delicious meal. GXX taking a shot. Very close to front of the target, too. But he will fall off the angle.
Shiro. Oh, the opportunity goes under his crosshair. Synopsy took a peek, didn't really spot anything. So once again, things get strange. It's going to be the connector smoke coming down. He's going to try and work around it here. Axel watching, knows this one. So does Shiro. Yeah, they were both very ready for that play. No cheekiness here, thank you very much. They know Mirage like the back of their hand. Axel going to go pushing through the connector smoke to find another. And now just the 3 remain for B&E. Nice shot from GXX as he continues to have impact round on round. But he will lose his head. CLOUD9 looking to answer back quickly. Rigon has spotted one crossing. Tough angle to beat here. He will find one. The AWP misses the shot, but he gets overwhelmed from short anyway. And there's the lurking presence of Hobbit to make sure the round is sealed off. And Cloud9 bring it back within one.
Yeah, very important as well, because it's once again just shunting that economy over towards B&E, where they once again can't go in towards the full buy. And Cloud9 should know this. They should understand that that's really causing effect over towards the CT side, where, to be honest, Cloud9 should tie up the game here, 7-all. Then we see a real fight to see who is going to take that lead at the turn of the half. From what started kind of questionably for C9, the control wasn't looking too good for them. They take mid and everything falls into place. And speaking of falling into place, Shiro hitting shots like that, and Opsy's made its way in towards Palace. Is Hobbit aware?
Oh, we all saw that. Molotov misses.
Imagine it takes an Opsy. Imagine.
I know, that would be funny. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Oh, spotted. Where's he coming? There we go. Hobbit does manage to find it despite the mishaps. All the same, going to be down to just 2 now for B&E. So the gap fully closed, and I would say 7 rounds on that T side is going to be enough for them to work with. We saw how strong their CT end was, you know, yesterday. Really impressive. And this is, again, you know, Shiro being kind of quiet. It's Nafany leading up the charge.
Yeah.
Really interesting to see. It just brings a whole new dynamic to Cloud9.
Yeah, Nafany's absolutely flying. Of course, entering IGL is kind of the new meta these days. We've always kind of had previous conversations about IGLs don't need to frag as much, but it sort of changed, especially with the likes of Karrigan really started to step up for FaZe. Even Electronic, I guess you want to make that argument over towards Na'Vi. We're seeing now these IGLs play this entry role in a sense where they're getting so much information, but Shiro, slowly but surely, starting to wake up. And I think if you wake the beast, you should get very, very scared. When Shiro starts hitting shots and starts feeling confident, B&E should start feeling nervous.
Very true. Very, very true. Here we go, though. Quick burst in towards the A-bomb site once again from Cloud9. The cut and dry, they've been doing this a lot. The Molotov going to burn Scenario. He had no options, nowhere to go. GXX will manage to find one, but another fire kill comes in. No contest for Cloud9 breaking in towards this A-bomb site. They've got a flank coming round as well. They're not going to fully commit, so they might even just go B with the bomb. Axile lurking on B as he so often does, has gotten in behind, going to hold the line and allow space for that bomb to go down.
Axile in a position, parked up, waiting for a mistake, and he might be giving it right here. Synopsy will walk straight to the trap. Axile not missing those any day of the week. Smoke will come through. He should be pretty locked in here. Trying to move away. Rigon pushing the smoke. He actually gets caught on the door frame. Who's going to get in first? Axile will see him off. At the turn of the half from what was a poor start for C9. They will guarantee a lead on their T side, 8-7. And now we start to ask questions of B&E. What has happened? How has it fallen so flat? Because everything was in the palm of their hand.
Beautiful stuff. And Cloud9, yeah, it took them a while to get going. It kind of took them a while to get going against Aurora, I suppose. So, you know, B&E credit where credit is due. But they've got a lot more work to be doing here on this T side, and it's going to be really difficult. Cloud9, brick wall effect, all that good stuff, and we'd probably see Shiro activate a bit more. He actually did quite well. He was 1-8, and then he gets up to 7-8. So he did have a good run of rounds there towards the tail end. Juan Flatcher going to take down Hobbit. You say have the pistols in the back pocket, apparently. Oh, and Juan Flatcher finds down. Will be down to a 5 versus 3 then. Still got Axile in at CT. Someone got to pop off here for the CT side. They're going to go hunting. He can't find one up close. It's just Buster that's found a kill. Shiro tries. And B&E with 2 out of 2 pistols.
Yeah, great start.
B&E.
Lost this control of the game in a sense where they were dominating the start of the first half and everything was kind of playing out in the way we'd expect of B&E on that CT side. And then things fall a little bit flat, and you're getting a little bit cautious, a little bit nervous. Thankfully, when Fletcher a double to open things up, cracks open the A side, and he gets another to add to this tally as well. It's a great round for him individually, but for B&E as a whole, C9, I think a little bit shell-shocked in terms of the quick approach on the pistol round. Now they are forced down to what is a full buy, but it's not exactly too much brought onto the table. You got an MP9 for Axile, and a couple of upgraded pistols. Realistically, normally, this should be B&E taking this every day of the week and without too much of an effort.
Well, we'll see. Did see some force buys come a bit close. Actually weren't that many in the first half, though, to be honest with you. The way that Cloud9 were able to control their economy was pretty impressive.
He goes quiet right now.
Yeah.
Maybe for B&E. Just nervous about where C9 sets up. If it's a gamble stack, they're only walking into it. Shiro posted on waiting. Man, Flatcher still testing the waters over here. He's done damage already towards Buster. That's confirmed damage. You'll know of it. It's looking like they want to make a decision off the back of that nade to come through. Wan Flatcher should take a tag, and he will down to 78. And Rigon will find the first.
In towards A they go.
Go push, man.
Axel just going to get overwhelmed. Hobbit had started to move away as they thought they were going to give B a go. Juan Flatcher with the double kill seals the deal here. And just Hobbit on this CZ, hoping someone comes his way, but BNE doing very well to fend off against the force buy. Obviously, their map pick here, so you would expect the have some plans, have some grounds to work with. We'll see. Cloud9 yesterday, that CT side from them was really scary.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, we saw they started pretty poorly in a sense. So we were actually already building up a conversation of, hang on, maybe an upset's on the cards here. Maybe Aurora are going to somehow walk away with this game in the kind of the CS derby of Group A. But no, what a turnaround from C9 yesterday against Aurora. I sort of not seeing that sort of start here. Granted, it's not the full buy, so it's not exactly a conclusive test. That was really well paced by B&E. You know, very good in terms of their slow approach, making sure they avoid the gamble stack, making sure they get all the information before they pull the trigger on execute. Everything pulls in towards their favor. One flash over double on the way out too. Just really confirming the round for B&E and confirming the lead back in their favor. That pistol round giving them a lot of early momentum into each and every half. We saw it happening towards the first when they were on the CT side. Now it's working wonders for them on C side. C9. Eco for them in towards the next. They fully invested in towards the second round of the half to no avail. And it will mean an Eco into round number 18. Hobbit close and personal. One Flatcher needs to be careful.
Needs to be very, very careful. In goes Hobbit. Does manage to find one there. Kind of comically so as he goes flying around the corner. Axile and Shiro. Axile, especially on the Deagle here, needs to be watched. Shiro up close with the P250, trying to find one. Can he get it? Gets a dink. Left low from an aid and spammed down by Rigon. Unlucky. Nonetheless, number 10 coming in for BNE. Nice and fast. Building up some confidence in these early rounds, it looks like. Tactical timeout for Cloud9, and rightfully so. Things are starting very quickly to get away from them. They've got to find success here with this first rifle round.
Yeah, it's kind of a must call in a way, right? We're looking at this, and we're looking at Nafmani to try and rally the troops here. It's not exactly been the dream start to the second half, the same way it was towards the first half. But what they wanted to do here is cut this tempo that B&E are building already. They want to ice them out, make sure that they don't start to get on that unbelievable run of form, make sure they don't get the snowball effect in play. If they get the ball rolling, B&E, especially on T side, such a difficult opponent, no matter about rankings, what tier they represent. We've seen B&E, the major sweethearts, a team who everybody loves, an organizational side who have made these deep runs in majors, made their way for RMRs, taken on formidable opponents time and time again. They are not uncommon to these sort of games, these sort of high-pressure matches against top-tier talent. They found 11 here. My God, things get really problematic. Senary sitting in the smoke. Nafni just in front of the one in towards Con. This is an important kill, which you'll find to open things up. A great start off the back of their attack.
Trying to bring the game to their opponents. That's what the timeout will have been about. Works beautifully. Hobbit going to go down, though, to GXX on the AK. Nearly finds the frag. leaving him on 10 HP. Must have been a dink for dink kind of scenario. It's a bit unfortunate there for Hobbit. Axal pushing him behind very quickly, though. Will manage to find one. Set up and ready for the B player. Timing works against him, though. And he will go down 3-on-3 ensuing. Where do they go here, though? They've got some control towards mid. That's about all they have to speak of. Ramp control, I guess. You kind of gifted that, though, as a T side. So it's difficult to say where they're going to end up. Rigon just hanging about. Got to watch himself that he doesn't go down too easily.
Space creating towards mid in this 3 versus 3, and off the back of it, being each going to pump the brakes. Nafany rotating back over towards A. It's the right call. There's already one. That'll rig on. He's got a lot of space to work with. The question is, do they expect each other to be so close? Rig on, barrel spotted, and that's enough for Nafany to work off. If he doesn't look the other way, he should be okay. Molotov will come through. That'll force away Buster. He's going to be dropping back over towards short. No, he's going through it. Well, Flatcho will forward hold on to Synopsy, the leader, the IGL, in a 1 versus 3, and Shiro knows where he is. He's got his number.
Gonna get the bomb plant, which I suppose is a nice silver lining for the team. Can he find any damage on the way out is the big question. Nope, he cannot. As Shiro takes him down easily enough, starting to heat up now. Cloud9 bringing it within 1, and a very, very clean opening rifle round coming through from the CT defense. Absolutely immaculate stuff from a couple of their players. Nafany continues to frag 19 now, all the way up to the top end of the scoreboard. And we know that he's sort of a confidence-based IGL. When he's playing well, he calls better, and you can see Cloud9 in that round. They went aggressive kind of everywhere. And they find, I'd say, 75% of the fights going their way, 75% of the success. So BNE know that the struggle is beginning and know that this Cloud9 CT side can just take over the game. They're going to try and not let it happen with a tactical timeout.
Yeah. It's important. Make sure that you don't allow, in the same conversation that we're having for Cloud9 and their attack pause over towards BNE, make sure that you don't allow them to start feeling confident, start feeling comfortable in where they currently stand. BNE doing the same thing. BNE have got this lead. They've got this control of the game right now, and it's on T side. A side in which they control the tempo. They dictate the pace of the game. I need to make sure it's them. It is running to their song. We saw it towards that round, Cloud9. The control was fantastic. Nafany again, making such a difference. He's been so consistent in doing so. Buster, while he's been a little bit quiet towards today, just generally speaking, great impact kill for him in towards short. Really just settled that round in the favor of Cloud9. Only 1 round behind as well. Breathing down the neck of BNE is making them feel the pressure. So off the back of the pause, what's the plan of action? It might just be a bit of a fake towards A, but a slow contact play towards B. An MM classic.
Indeed it is. Trying to fake things out towards A. Got some deep smokes coming in. Shiro going to take Scenario nice and quick. Maybe didn't want to give the life away so fast. Buster still spotting. Nate going to come through. Ooh, he's opting to play a little aggressive here, waiting for the flash to come round. It's Axile who holds, but Rigon who demolishes. And the 3 versus 3 ensuing. They'll get the bomb down here. They'll get themselves into a decent post plant. The Cloud9 B hold has indeed failed them. And now the round blasted wide open. And they're a bit unsure of how to approach things, whether they fully want to commit to the approach, to be fair. Time ticking away. They don't have a kit to work with. Might just give this one. There is a kit at short, though, will be retrieved. Not a lot of time now, just holding for exits, it looks like. Trying to keep them in the bomb site. Make sure they all go down. Nice shot from GXX to confirm the fact and continue the damage onto that CT side, who without that saving player might debate the buy themselves. They're all going to exit safely, make it out. An 11 for BNE. Cloud9 are breathing down their necks, but not able to even it up.
Yeah, like you said, the B hole just really fell apart there. You know, Shiro's been playing over towards short, and the one time he then doubles back towards the A side, it all falls a hand. Really well played, GXX. He's still finding that form, and I had a couple of real key shots coming through from him. We mentioned, if he starts hitting them, yesterday it was primarily the One Flat Throw show, and at times Rigon was doing his duty too. With GXX being so quiet, it made those fights at range so problematic. He's been doing good work. Missed shot by Shiro uncharacteristically, but second out of asking, he's always going to take them. Hobbit Sitting in close, both expecting someone on the other side of the smoke. It's a question of who hits who first. So Shiro delivering for a second, doing great work. And Juan Flat just walked away from the angle. Hobbit with a deagle finding a kill. This mixed match of a buy looking like it's going to find C9 the 10th.
Yeah, Shiro with the mad aggression coming in, just allow him to do his own thing again. He's had a great recovery here, folks. We have to say he was 0-6 at one point. That first half was not very pretty from him. But now he's looking really solid as he finds all these rounds, all these fights going his way on the CT side. I suppose just able to take some better spots on the CT end of things, and
for sure,
it is paying dividends for him. 2 remain for BNE.
I mean, even worse as well.
Yeah,
he was 0-6, but he was 1-8. I mean, he was really falling away, and he goes from 1-8 to 8-8. I mean, just in the space of the half, and then since then, only died a few times while getting quite a numerous amount of kills. If you kind of discard, for example, the first 8 rounds and then look at his kill tally, he's essentially going something along the lines of kind of 10 for 2 or 10 for 3, which is what you'd expect of Shiro. And it just shows, no matter how good a player you are, we all have bad days. We all have slow starts. But now he's, you know, the gears are moving, the cogs are in motion. Things are pretty tough. BNE, of course, just a safe call here. Expected. Really, in a 2 versus 5, what are you actually going to do? But BNE, they'll be kicking themselves, losing that sort of round. And that's sort of round as well, which you'd even be tempted to call attack pause off the back of. It's a tilter. You know, you've come in against, what is it, a hero warp and one of the rifle, and you've lost to primarily pistols. I mean, if that was me, I'd be tilted.
They've picked up a lot of cash as well, so, you know, a couple recovered weapons, I believe, for CLOUD9. Yeah, 4 AKs, wow, okay, so everyone gets an AK here, and everyone gets a weapon picked up in the previous round. Those that didn't have it, the 3 that didn't have anything. So that is really great for the economy. And of course, that one-tap potential that is constantly on the cards here is going to be very scary to play against. CLOUD9 in prime position, bro, to even this one up. They really are.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, this is important. It's a massive round for CLOUD9 here as well. Find this and limit the success of BNE, and they will shatter their economy. Financials will be in ruins. Hobbit playing in around the smoke. This is Astralis Magisk-esque. He made this sort of play around the smoke in towards ramp. So formidable, and that's why we'll find the first shooter in for the trade. Keeps the numbers in favor of C9.
Nafany winning out towards short as well. Looking very good indeed. CLOUD9, they are doing it. They are bringing this one back. Rigon tries to take the fight, wins the fight against Nafany. In fact, Axal will trade him at the very least. So still no hope in hell for BNE. GXX, the only one that remains. He does have the bomb on his back and should be able to get a plant here, actually. They are not really set up to defend the A-bomb site. He's just clearing as many angles as he possibly can. The more he does this, the more time he gives across to CLOUD9 to work their way in and deny him the plan. How's this going to play out? He will get the bomb down. Okay, so there is that at the very least. He's trying to move in towards CT. He's not going to be ready for this player super up close. Axal's crept round. Drops down, makes noise. Now the orb does know. Molotov hits him. Pre-fire is not enough, but Shiro with the wallbang will take him down. It does end up being costly there for CLOUD9, but they'll be happy with that, evening things back up. And the CT side off strong right now.
My God, C9 doing what they did against Aurora, where things didn't look too comfortable over towards the T-side. The second it flips in towards that second half, look where we stand now. All squared 11 apiece. An important round as well. BNE, yes, to get a bomb plant, but the funds are still extremely limited. Rigon, my hero AK, he's been the real difference maker for BNE. But you're going to see attack pause. We knew it was coming at some point, especially if that round was to be lost. It was either coming now or in towards the next full buy. But it's a good call. Second of theirs used for BNE and a good time for a conversation. It's now no longer their game. And the way in which they've got to approach the rest of essentially Mirage is a completely different way they've been approaching the game prior. Before this, it's still always been in their control. You know, we saw them take the pistol. They had a good little run of form to open things up. Even in the late stages of the first half, while they lost control of the lead by quite a margin, they still were able to have some comfort over their gameplay. Now it's not the case. CLOUD9 are alive and kicking. Shiro's hitting shots as well. Nafany's still on fire. And Axal's coming alive too. All the pieces of the puzzle over towards CLOUD9 are slotting together. B&E know all too well about this. What's to be called for them is going to be exactly as expected. The Hero AK for Rigon to come through. Just a few pistols around it.
Still expecting some impact out of this. They need to find a way in here. Nice pickup from Juan Platro coming in. The Deagles charging forwards. Rigon going to find another one. Juan Platro does go down. But Rigon with the Hero AK doing well. They're going to recover an M4. Looking very good in this 4 versus 3, to be honest with you. The basic A execute coming round. Nice find from Axel. Knows his angles. Smokes will dissipate. As Buster in from CT, the next most important. Looks away. Oh no, and they're going to get the better of him. That timing is so rough. And they might just give it off the back of that. They are indeed looking like they're on the way out. Rigon will track Shiro. And panic for Cloud9. They really get caught off guard there. A lot of players, you know, checking the wrong angle, getting a bit shaky. Axel should be able to survive here, but even then, they're actually after him. Nice positional change, but he's got no HP, so Rigon does make mincemeat out of him. Orb to be recovered, not going to be able to get the chance. All the same, BNE back in the lead off the back of the half buy.
Yeah, it's a huge round to take. Really well played from B&E. It's a Hero AK and a few pistols. And, you know, in those sort of rounds, really all we're looking for is a bomb plant. A bomb plant just alleviates a little bit of the pressure heading into the next full bite. They've done that and some. Not only they found the round, the bomb going down, all 5 kills and a couple of saved over 2. It's a fantastic performance of B&E. And a statement to be said, Nafany taking a lot of damage to nades early in towards the round, sitting in the Molotov for a little bit and then a nade on top of it. B&E claw back the lead in their favor as Buster double AWPing here. So we'll look over towards Apps. And Ops, he shows his arm and he's very lucky not to be tagged.
Axel, the short holder. He's had some decent rounds, but going to be bested in this one. Goes a bit too wide. Juan Platro takes him down and he finds Nafany. Rigon's been picked up in all the carnage. Meanwhile, Shiro's still alive. Needs to go huge. Able to find one. And the second. They're not spacing in very well. And Shiro doing what Shiro does. Brings it down to the 1v1. Misses the shot. Goes on to the AK. Synopsy. A huge round coming in from BNE. Despite Shiro's heroics, the 13th goes the way of the T side.
That's massive. That really is. Oh my god. It looked like Shiro's going to pull off one of those rounds. One of the rounds where, as a player, nothing you can do. It's just Shiro doing Shiro things. But thankfully, Synopsy, the man from the front, sees it off. That got way too close for comfort. Way too close. Credit to Synopsy. All picked up. And another pause called by B&E. Yes, they're finding success. But the cost at which they're finding it, still quite the problem. 13-11, and B&E are on the road to taking their map pick on their T side. And for me, personally, C9, I think the T side start for them somewhat questionable in a way. No matter the map, I always prefer B&E on the T side. You know, when they've got AKs, when they're setting the tempo, this is the B&E you know and love. And we're seeing it now. They're just making Cloud9 look so uncomfortable. That's what it's all about. Full buy out for the T side, C9 down to nothing. Full eco for them as GXX finds an easy opener.
Lovely stuff. Cloud9 just trying to group together and make the pack mentality work out. BNE though, this is really solid stuff. Obviously, their map pick, we go into Vertigo next, which is a really scary kind of prospect. Cloud9 sort of their home map at the moment. And we did say that it all comes down to Mirage. BNE, despite being kind of down in the early stages, right? The CT side from Cloud9 got off to a very strong start. BNE have upset the apple cart here. Really just bringing their A game. The individuals activating a lot of crunch rounds, a lot of scary moments in there, but Rigon in particular has just been able to deliver the opening frags so very well.
GXX, hang on a second. A bit of a predicament here. He will fall. I mean, Shiro in towards an AWP. Not what you want, because Shiro can do exactly that. Oh no, hang on. This is being way more expensive. Yes, B&E is still going to take the round. And Making an expensive boss there. He's a secondary AWP with a side, looking for another, and he will fall to the bomb in the end of things. A good few kills on the way out. Cloud now take the silver linings. B&E still take the round, and they're going to use their final tack pause as an opportunity for Synopsy, Devil Walk the coach, just to make sure they confirm things in their favor and cool their heads off what was a little bit of a close affair on the way out there.
Yeah, just keep them cool, I think is definitely how it goes here. Really has been a high-octane kind of game so far. And as said, the rounds that the B&E have been winning have been, you know, really, really tight, down to 1vx's. They keep on winning them, and that's all that matters. Cloud9 will come back through with a buy of their own. It's not perfect, but it should work. And we need to see them at the tail end here find a decent string. As you can see, you know, yes, pistol comes into play. B&E have abused that, but it's been 3 in a row for B&E right now. There was an eco in there, but Cloud9 have controlled the economy pretty well, had buys more often than not, and still they're not able to find the rounds. Only 3 picked up so far in the second half, and only 2 together. We've got a match medic as Devil Walk has, I think, dropped out and joined the wrong team, which would be a classic.
Does happen. Definitely does happen. Either way, we take a breather, and I think probably a good time for a breather. I think especially for B&E, the way in which that round ended, of course, still goes in their favor, all well and good, but the fact that they kind of, you know, overextending it a little bit, and Cloud9 making them feel the pressure on the low buy, the pistols, Shira found a couple of kills with the AWP before he does drop. You got to make sure that they kind of cool off. They make sure they don't get too hung up on that one being expensive on the way out. Either way, I'm hoping or expecting Devil Walk. I see him over on that left-hand side, so I think he should be getting into place in just a second. Jumping in towards the old coach role. And then we are good to go. What a game we've had so far. Cloud9 against Aurora when things are looking bad for them. They turned it around massively on towards the CT side, and everything fell in their favor. But this time, they've just not been able to get any sort of form on that CT side. And B&E could be going in towards Vertigo with a map under their belt already.
Yep. And the competition will then be on. The pressure will then be on. It's not a map that, you know, B&E are too foreign to. They played it yesterday against Eternal Fire. Had a good matchup there. Not a great matchup, but a good one. Cloud9 a different caliber of team, but it doesn't seem to matter. B&E proving that they can match up against them on a map like Mirage that Cloud9 had found some pretty good success on, particularly on the CT side. I thought we were going to swap over and it would be a clinic again. But anything but. Cloud9 down and out. And this technical timeout really going to take some wind out of the sails of both teams, really. Still working on getting Devil Walk in the right spot. He's now playing for B&E. He's not allowed. As much as he might want to. You know, get back on the server, win another major. He's got to get he's got to get it over simple, right?
Of course.
I don't know if
that
you
was
remember
always the thing. Devil
that
Walk
classic,
one major.
yeah, of course.
Simple,
of course.
no major. And now Simple's got one. He's got to get back.
Yeah, it all
but then
changed.
again, if he does
End
it
of
with
an era.
B&E, if he does it at B&E, we'll credit him a second. I don't know. Has any coach ever won as a player and a coach as well? A major?
I don't think in Go. I think
maybe in Source 1.6.
Yeah, right. But I don't think in Go that's ever happened. Because most of our Go coaches have just been coaches. We've not got as many players, especially at the top level. We've not got as many players. You know, Zonic 1.6er, right? It's like, you know, sure. But
Groove as well, right? He was 1.6, I think.
Yeah.
He was the C9 coach. I think I'm right in saying he was a 1.6 guy. Granted, way before my time. I'm not going to pretend I all played or watched 1.6. Never played it, and I've only seen clips on YouTube. Go is where I started, so I'm not even going to pretend. I think when 1.6
Por lo en tjetër, dja me këshyll me
në
një channel tjetër.
Yeah.
E gjeta në channel tjetër ku ka 300 idiot. Nuk pas ka delay shumë, se këto delay kanë shumë ta farbandosha.
1.6 or whatever.
Oh, okay. Right. Fair enough.
It's pretty good. It's respectable.
I played Roblox.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Respect. All right,
that's where I learned my mechanics.
Fair enough. I'd like to see how it affects your movement. Either way, back into the action here, folks. We've had an ice out there, quite the long timeout coming through as timeouts go. But all good. And CLOUD9 wanting to get back into this game as BNE have been locking them out the past few rounds.
You already a little bit of an aggressive start over towards Ram, just showing the presence there, C9. There's a world and an argument you can be made where they're feeling the nerves ever so slightly, but the C9 will be used to these positions, used to these sort of experiences where the backs are against the wall and they've got to find something out of nothing. And we're calling on the likes of Nafani, the IGL, to make a difference. And so far, he's been playing so well.
Yeah, Nafani in somewhat of an off angle here. Going to lose the fight out, though, against Rigon, who is very ready for it. Run boost comes in. GXX not fast enough. A chaotic start into this round. As the 4v4 ensues, who's coming out on top? It is actually going to be the CT side here as Hobbit finds one onto Soneri. Just solo picks all over the shop. And Rigon ain't missing. We know that much for free. Shiro gets timed. And Axal and Buster are the only two remaining. The smoke going to go down. It's a double face in towards Axal. They know where he's at. They've got his number. And they've got the number of Cloud9 in general. Buster, it feels like to save the game. And, well, save might be the operative word on that one, because I think he's just going to hold what he has. Not a chance. Not a chance.
There's just nothing to work with, is there? Maybe a constellation or exit. And Flatro's looking in, but Buster also aware. AK scooped up. So exit frags is all he's opting for here. C9. We'll need 4 flawless. And that's just to take us to OT. BNE are 1 round away from their map pick going in their favor. And what a T side this has been. That is 4 consecutive rounds now from BNE coming through. And C9 surely got a call for attack pause. You may as well use them at this point. Have a conversation. Bring in Groove alongside Nafani to see what they can do. But I'm not feeling too hopeful. I'm not feeling too confident. BNE have just looked that step ahead. Cutthroat on towards the T side and what you'd want to see. The Eagles are flying high right now, going in towards Vertigo with confidence. Tac pause will be used, expected by C9. What's the buy going to be? Axel's in towards a FAMAS. Nafani barely even has the ability to do that with full armor and util. Hobbit and Buster in a similar scenario. MP9s might be needed if they want the util. FAMAS is across the board and all for Shiro. But it will be a quad FAMAS buy. Somewhat limited utility alongside an AWP in the hands of Shiro. It's do or die here or now, and C9 have got to do it on a horrible janky force buy. What a performance from BNE. Like we said though, 4 in a row. They found something on the lines of kind of 8 in those regions, kind of 7, 8 or something like that. Out of the last 9, they coming through. Boston going to be tested. Mac 10 flying out.
Quick rush moving in. It will be Buster to hold for now. Axal, meanwhile, getting one of his own. The AWP chimes in. There are kills all over the shop for the CT side, but it has gone south for BNE. Another one for Shiro. Another one for Buster. And the quick B rush. Was that the call? Maybe not. They've not got a lot of cash here as well. So 3 in a row for Cloud9 now required, and it is not out of the realms of possibility.
Yeah, was that needed? Let's be honest. Probably not. Was there a need there to be flying into those sort of fights? I don't think so. BNE, I understand what they're trying to do in terms of, because it's such a high pressure round and C9 are going to have a weird and wacky buy, just fly in, see if you can take face, see if you can take engagements early, because you can bank on the fact the firepower. Look what it's done to them. It just shattered their funds. In towards pistols, in round number 28, C9 are up towards 13 here. This is now getting tentative. It's getting dicey. My Flatro, bit of a tag, but nothing. I found an easy kill for him in towards Top Gun. Nate to come through as well. Big tag on towards Senery. And the A site is going to be the hit.
Yeah, we'll see. They've found kind of success from here. The A bomb site has been a little bit weakly defended for my money, and there I go again, just predicting the future, as they should be able to get a bomb plant here. They will get the better of GXX, so at the very least they retain the man advantage, but it feels like it hangs in the balance, to be honest with you. Synopsy's found himself a FAMAS. He's got armor. He's got info. Yeah, this is really dangerous, really tentative right now. Dancing on ice. Slowly but surely making their way through from CT. Flash comes round, nade comes round. He's so blind. Will be dealt with. Not a lot of time on the bomb. Maybe Rigon finds the opportune kill. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Buster takes his head clean off, and they will get the defuse in. But that is close stuff. Gets the heart pumping. Meanwhile, 2 more rounds to go.
Yeah, he gets way too close staying away. B&E, just the pistols. At the very least, the bomb plant will give them funds to work with. And right inside, I don't think B&E have any more pauses. So they just have to keep going and flying in towards these rounds with the 20 or so seconds before they start. Having got the ability to take a pause and have a true conversation, as we can see. Full buyout. GXX in towards the AWP. Rigon's already up to 30 kills. He has had an electric performance. And Shiro, I was going to say, it's very close to being caught off guard there. The mid player was swinging through. We'll get away in time. In towards mid. Axel find the first one. Flatcho falling.
Problematic. Very problematic indeed. Flash comes round. Soneri going to try and find this trade. Can't get it done. Axel down below is having a masterclass. Gorgeous stuff from him. And that's going to mean that there is only now 2 left as the flash comes over the top for Nafany to work with. And ultimately, a poor run of form for B&E might see us go into overtime, bringing it all the way down to the wire. Not going to get the bomb plant in this round. Not going to have the cash for the next round. Synopsy the first to have anything to say in this round for the side of B&E. I think he might just save his AK and take it into the next.
I think so. 1 versus 4 for Synopsy. He's falling away. He's going to tuck his head, I think. Finding any sort of success here. Asking just a little bit too much. He's looking like he wants to give it a go. Gonna look in. Maybe seeing off in a matter of mere moments. An easy kill for Hobbit to see things off. No problems asked. C9 up to 14. Overtime is looming. And especially when you consider looking towards the bottom left, what have B&E got to work with? Nothing. It doesn't even make you question whether just saving the AK at the end there might have been the right call. Go and try and, park yourself up in a corner, see if you can keep at least 1 rifle to work with. It's all they've got. Synopsy in towards an AK. Rigon on 1, Flatcho in towards a Galil, a Mac-10 and Deagle to round off the troop. And they need to rally the troops in the 30th and final round. What a start to the day for us. All 30 in regulation, and potentially, and some needed.
Come on now, this has got overtime written all over it. It should be an overtime
Agreed.
Game here. Absolutely deserving of such. But we shall see. B&E, often when the pressure is on, they form the diamonds. They always come out with something different, something unexpected. What is the move in this round? Molotov going to push them forwards. Oh, a lot of damage done off the back of that. He'll actually take out Rigon with the help of Nafany. Meanwhile, the AWP just misses the Mac-10. Soneri calls it off. Yeah, Mac-10 at that range, you know, might be the weapon to go. Big spam coming in from Buster here. Going to do a lot of damage. Juan Flatcho try and close the gap. Look for a frag. Isolate the fight. Not going to happen. All the kills coming in for Cloud9. It's just Synopsy, and he goes down. Overtime required for our first game of the day. Cloud9 fighting back and finally finding form.
And 4 or 5 rounds ago, we spoke about this. If any team knows how to deal with the pressure of being backs against the wall, your opponent's on map point, it's Cloud9. Timeless. This side and the amount of times they've been in this position, numerous. 15 all, and we get overtime underway in just a second. And the scary factor is a couple of players have started to find their form. It was really only Nafany in that first half who was anything of a scary prospect for Cloud9. But Axel's up to 28 kills. Shiro finding form with 21. The 2 big hitters for Cloud9 doing their thing. And what makes it even more damning here for B&E is if I'm right in saying I don't think they have any more pauses left. So they can't even have a proper conversation here. They can't even bring in Devil Walk and try to, you know, understand what's going wrong for B&E. That's the thing that makes me feel very uncomfortable with. I'm right in saying C9 have one left in their back pocket. So if they need, they can pick it up. Bobby will drop a smoke. He likes to play around it. We've seen him do it time and time again. And he always seems to go for one.
He does. He's been playing very well around the ramp area. And get the spam off and will back away. Can B&E finally find 16? That's the big question at the end of the day. In comes the flashes. It's a burst. They've not got the big smokes out. There's a lot of gaps here. Down will go Hobbit, but Shiro and Nafany have got the run of the mill right now. Looking very good indeed. Down goes GXX. Synopsy for 2, though. Brings this 1 versus 4 into a 1 versus 2. Much more doable situation. Going to be hard for him to get the bomb back. Axel spotted him, and it's Buster that finds the frag. In fact, Cloud9 keep the streak going.
This CT side looking so formidable now. B&E, they're crumbling. They're going to hate themselves if they lose this map. Everything was in the palm of their hands. The world in their control. They take map number 1 and they're going towards Vertigo, which you already have spoken about. Vertigo is going to be an extremely difficult map for them. Yes, they found success in it yesterday. But we know what C9 can do. They battered G2 16-6, beat Outsiders 16-9. They're very good on the map. They needed Mirage. It's still a possibility, but it's slowly starting to slip away.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Nafany nearly goes stepping in. He's actually going to win the fight against Synopsy. That's mad. That is mad. 5 on 4. Straight out of the gate. Hobbit for another. Cloud9 could do no wrong right now. This is really solid gameplay from them. Axel going to lose his head as he goes a bit overzealous. But they will still retain the lead in the round itself. Ooh, unless another overzealous peak. And now, things have opened wide up. Nice one for Rigon. 3 versus 2. Key round here if B&E can take it. Nafany. Oh, he could get a double. Rigon's very low indeed from an earlier fight. Takes him down. GXX with the trade. Going to be the 1 versus 1. It's Buster on the secondary AWP. Hoping that the smoke goes down in time, but it's not. And now he has to battle his way back in towards the site.
I mean, at the moment, the bomb going down. He has no real idea. GXX can post him over towards Ticket. Good position. Gets a leg spot, but he gives away his position. Repeaking in, gets a leg on towards Buster. Somehow, some way, but surely the nade will see him off. Hiding behind the wall, but time so far ticked. I think B&E have done enough. I think they have. He's going to pull out the Glock. He knows he's legged him. Tap on towards the bomb. He knows he's a tap as well. This round is won. GXX a masterclass. The Glock pulled out, and the round 1. Yes, he may fall. But who cares? Buster will fall to the bomb. Overall, nobody surviving. B&E tying things up 16 apiece. And this game still red hot. An impossible one to call as B&E find success from a round which already started off looking lost. A 5 versus 3.
Yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. And as said, a couple of overzealous peaks coming in from the side of Cloud9. There was one of them. There's maybe another. They really did give the fights across to B&E when they were asking for them. And we know B&E always capable in the mid-round of finding those moments. Finding the opportune kills. It is what they are known for. Never down and out in the rounds. The amount of 5v3s that I've seen B&E come back from against some top-tier teams as well. It's enough to count on, you know, both hands, really. So we'll see here a key one in the campaign for B&E, and the first time in regulation, what? It's probably about 6 rounds in a row. I think Cloud9 win there. Maybe 5. Either way, you know, so. it was a long time before B&E were able to find a round.
All posted, Axel. This time going to be the one to wield that secondary orb. We saw Buster doing it a little bit earlier. He has been quiet at times, Buster. You may as well get the heavy hitter, Axel, on the hunt for the 30 bomb to join Rigon. Mid-control, taken by B&E. Nafany's been favoring that con position. Not exactly the right person maybe to play. He can opt for window here. Oh, looking over. Rigon will fall to the hands of Buster. We spoke about him being a little bit quiet. He steps up when it matters most.
Nice find from Nafany as well, waiting for that window play all round long. They have escaped Shiro ever so slightly, but Nafany stands strong. Down goes Shiro. Maybe the site with it. Are they going to expect Hobbit in towards Palace? The answer will be nope. And he comes away with one. Nearly the second. But he set up the second at the very least. They know where GXX is at against 3. Surely not, you say. But with the open hand, anything is indeed possible. Buster going to be the first to fall. GXX with a quick reposition. The bomb is planted for him. And maybe they've lost track of him now. Hobbit to come through from Palace. Easier said than done. Axal on the AWP, wanting to close the gap. Utility comes in to allow Hobbit to get out here. The bomb too far ticked, but it's all good. Axal's got a kit. And they will indeed find 17 at the turn of the half.
It's close. Very, very close. What matters most is we're going to see C9 just have a little bit of breathing room. Their T side was lackluster in regulation. Got to say, weren't too much of a fan of it. We really saw the C9 side look shaky and struggling to find consistent success. Good round, though. And yes, credit to B&E getting that bomb down, but we're not talking about long-term economy or anything of the sort anymore. GXX is still causing many issues over towards C9. What's mattering most of the riflers are stepping up. We are going to see, of course, that slim lead like we spoke about. If I'm right in saying there is still one pause left to work with for CLOUD9. I think, if I'm right in saying that, I think they got one more.
I'm not sure. I feel like they might have used it by now, so I don't know.
I know they used their third at like round 26 or 27. They used their third out of 4. But I wasn't sure if they popped one since then. But I guess they don't really need one either, to be perfectly honest. Momentum's in their favor. Been a while since we've seen them on T side. If they can find some form now, maybe things will be alright. Molotov will be dropped. Shiro holding. If someone jumps up, they're going to be costly. Fall away from the nade. Just give up a little bit of that space. He's making noise. They know he's here.
Spam away from Synopsy. Nothing going to land, though, of course, on the CLOUD9 side of things. They run a much slower T side on the CLOUD9 end of things. So you would expect a great deal of patience to come out from this T side, and that is exactly what you get. Really slow, really methodical. And it's been a while since they've been here as well.
Foster. Space being made over towards that Palace position. It's too good to join him. B&E are pushing through ramp, but they don't understand that Palace is starting to be stacked here. They're going to walk past each other like ships in the night. Hobbit will double back. Does he expect a double push coming through? He won't. Senary, easy kill for him.
But they know that it's going to be open. They know that there's going to be, a chance. However, the second player was not spotted. And Flatro looking to maybe try and take all 3. He's being a bit cheeky here. Will he be spotted? Lines them up and finds 2. Knows that Shiro is in towards the Palace area, so he can at least get that call. Where's the lurk from Axal coming from, though? That's maybe the big question on this one. Shiro, anything possible while this guy's still alive? He has battled back and got himself to a very respectable scoreline after a poor start into this game. There's not enough time, though, is there? They're just going to give it away. Save what they have and try again in the next, but BNE, they will be so thankful to find that first one. It was looking dire.
Well, that square. Yeah, things are not looking good. I think the big one is Hobbit falling over towards ramp, and then it really just finds them that opening kill to work with. Yes, they lose information. One flash line on them up. It's important. We're seeing BNE fight back. A second overtime might be necessary here. These two sides inseparable. At the moment as well, CLOUD9, they've already mentioned about their T-side being lackluster, and once again, another pretty middling round. They get map control, but they don't know how to use that as a catalyst to success. They get all the room to work with, all the space, but then seeing it towards a round is a completely different story.
Very true. Really difficult to say. Slowly but surely they will worm their way forwards here on that CLOUD9 side of things. But again, very slow, very methodical, not really too much happening in the first minute of gameplay as they just go for the mid control. They used this mid control an awful lot in their game against Aurora in particular. They really did just abuse mid. It didn't really work for them, actually. They had kind of a lackluster T side over there, so we'll see. This is something that comes on the first few pages of the C9 strat book, I'm sure. Just set up in at mid and hope that someone overextends.
Yeah. Right now might be the case. And Flatcho looking into his demise as well as Hobbit was ready waiting for it. Will be traded out by Seneri. He's going to double away from it. Does he expect Nafni in close and personal? They walk in towards Shiro. B&E are overextending, and it's costing them.
Just two remain. They're on the wrong bomb site. They're waiting for Axal on the flank, as you would usually expect. He's going to go down easily to Rigon. The bomb itself is as yet to really commit anywhere. It looks like it'll probably commit towards the A side of things, but Cloud9 got to be careful not to get overzealous themselves. There's still a couple areas that they have to get through. Down goes Seneri towards CT, and that's the big one that, you know, I was watching. Maybe could have made the difference there. Not going to be the case. And now Cloud9 set to move up to 18 unless Rigon, I mean, 33 kills, right? He certainly could turn this one around. He's had a hell of a game so far, looking to continue that trend as he moves forwards here in towards the bomb site itself. Easy does it, slow but sure, clearing out the angles, will be spotted now. Nafany goes wide, and Nafany takes him down. Easy as you like, Cloud9, the first ones to move up to 18.
Yeah, huge. Map point on their opponent's map pick for Cloud9. And that wasn't a round that Cloud9 won. It was a round bad news lost. I mean, they overextend multiple times, give away 3 kills. I mean, it's one of those situations where, for B&E, the mid-crunch coming through, is it really necessary? I don't think so. And the fact that they're doing a lot of those swings dry as well really shows how B&E are starting to feel nervous, starting to really feel the pressure. And this is what C9 can do. The mental game is brilliant from them. To 18. It's all questions of what do B&E have left in the locker. Did they have anything left in the tank, or are they running on fumes? To wait and see. Of course, the AWP in play as expected for GXX. And it's one flash show pushing down mid. GXX has got his hold deep. But Shiro's expecting this.
Shiro very ready. They're just playing nice and safe on the Cloud9 side of things. They want to get this one over and done with. Get onto their own map pick. It ain't over till it's over. And again, a game deserving maybe of another overtime. It's been close showings from both teams. GXX completely left out in the open. The flash is ineffective on towards that connector area. Nafany going to go down way too easy. And that is a big fragger to lose as well. Hobbit does well to find Seneri on a lurking play, just creeping out. Axal, meanwhile, in lower tunnels, looking good. Ooh, Synopsy ready for him. I think I've just heard his footsteps there as well. Juan Flatro, meanwhile, has pushed all the way down through ramp. Is that going to be expected? He's going to meet Buster in just a second. Finds the frag onto him. And now the T side stuck in the crunch. Creeping out on A. Hoping to play contact there. I mean, they're going to need someone to pop off here. GXX with the AWP at stairs. Really going to be difficult to get through. Down goes Hobbit. Just Shiro. Does manage to drop Synopsy. Axal, meanwhile, will time his way in. The dynamic duo working well together. They know that there might be the possibility of a flank, but they're not ready for Juan Flatro at the time that he shows himself. Axal will bring it down to 1v1, but there's no time. There's no time, Neokai. They've run out of time, and BNE will secure yet another overtime for this game.
Oh my God, we go again. The magic number of 19, not good enough. Now we look towards 22. As C9's somewhat lackluster T side showing its true stars once again. They just leave things too late for C9. I understand what they're trying to do. They're leaving it down to the dynamic duo for Axal, for Shiro to find some fall, but they just don't give themselves time to clear angles. And they don't have the util to work with either. You know, even planting inside of a smoke wasn't a possibility. What a game. What a game we are getting right now, and credit to B&E. They had so much pressure on their backs as well. And for them to be able to turn that still back in their favor, find Foreman towards the CT side, and then pushes towards double overtime. These guys, they're taking it. Number 10th ranked team in the world of C9 are being pushed the full distance. What a story. What a game we're getting here. Of course, B&E will continue to play on that CT side. C9 over towards T. If C9 find 2 rounds on the T side, then I get hopeful, because we've already said it's been lackluster. Right now, getting 2 to 3 just seems out of the realms of possibility for them.
Yeah. Real challenge, looking to play a bit faster. Nafany gets forced out by the Molotov. So we'll have to take that fight. And unfortunately, it means Cloud9 are down and out. Round number 37. So we're playing an awful lot of Counter-Strike here for sure here on Mirage, folks. BNE kicking off the campaign in the second bout of overtime very, very well indeed.
For now, it all going a little bit quiet. The opening 2 kills going the way of BNE, and now all they have to do is play the numbers game, play for trades. The bomb is posturing over towards that B site as Rigon and GXX posted there, 2 of the most impactful players over towards BNE. So far today, Rigon with 33 kills to his name in towards backside, but GXX will be tested first, and the barrel of Axal spotted.
Nice find from GXX, trained in on the angle, knows how that crouch peek goes. Beautiful find. And now, Hobbit and Shiro, the only ones left. Not really much that they can do. Nice find from Hobbit. Any more for any more, he says, but the opportunity's not really going to present themselves on that A-bomb site. BNE, very respectful. Know that these guys could certainly pull it off. Synopsy through the smoke, and Juan Flatro to back him up. 19 secured then, and Cloud9 once again struggling on the T side.
Yeah, they really can't seem to find the control that they want. They're looking to try as best as they can to take that map control and then use it as a catalyst towards the site. But right now, it's just not working. It's a great call once again from BNE. The double stack over towards B, leaving your 2 big impact players there, just to make sure there's nothing that they can really work with. 19 to 18, BNE take a lead back in their favor. GXX bomb shot through the smoke, not going to find success. Going to drop it towards under. Often we see him do that, hoping for someone to overextend in that position. As right now, Rigon can single-handedly lock off B.
Hobbit charging down middle, looking for the early frag. Going to be denied the chance. Juan Flatcher on the edge of the smoke takes him down. Meanwhile, burst in towards B. Cloud9 desperate for a round on this T side. They are trying everything they possibly know to get in towards these sites, but they are being denied away cleanly. So many players out towards short. Axal trying to find them. Denied down to 14 HP. Buster falls. Axal will remain alive in it. Oh, the forest position, but he gets wallbanged out by GXX. And BNE, they're doing it. They're doing it. Cloud9 are out of ideas. You can feel that. Fast mid, fast B. Nothing working.
They're getting close. Closer and closer to the finish line. Here we stand right now. BNE only need 2 more rounds, and they're still on track for a flawless CT. C9, even getting towards a bomb site and a bomb down is a big ask from them. They cannot seem to even fathom a post plant, never mind setting themselves up for success. I think you can start to see the experience, the players over towards C9. They're fallible, they're beatable. BNE know this. They smell blood in the water, and they're looking to try and see this one off, get that finishing blow. If they make it 21 here before the turn of the half, it's guaranteed.
Feels like it would be the curse of 3 in a row. Not impossible, but certainly they're not going to be the first side to do it, so we'll see how things pan out. Synopsy looking to get aggressive in the apartments. Does he keep on pushing, though? That's the big question. Shiro's got him held, but Shiro loses the fight. Oh, goodness. It's happening. Cloud9 battled heavily to get here, but they are being denied the chance to find their opponent's map pick. BNE with a second wind at the tail end of the game are making this one theirs. Oh no, Buster, the only one who remains for this side. BNE. BNE. Not much else to add. They are just absolutely tearing through this CT side right now.
What a performance. Really well played from BNE. This CT side just so strong. Buster, knock yourself 1. Made that 2. Okay, hang on. I'm not going to say it's doable. What? Not going to say it's doable, but it might now be. Bomb collected. The last plays over towards B. and Boss is on for the 1 versus 4, but he still assumes he's over towards the A side, and he's just stuck between no man's land and short. He's trying to look for kills. Little does he know that GXX just tucked his head over towards that B side. It's B&E with a flawless CT side in OT number 2, and they only need one more round. The big number we're looking for is 22, and they're right on the cusp of it.
Lovely stuff in the end for Buster, you have to say.
True.
Some nice shots, but yes, indeed, the klaxon goes off. There's 3 rounds in a row that Cloud9 are going to need out from their CT side, and that would just take us to another overtime. So in their minds, the action is not over quite yet. BNE, meanwhile, wanting to take us to the Vertigo, a map that they're not too foreign on, and we have said certainly could wrestle back into the game if they play their cards right, and at the moment they are playing their cards very well indeed. Cloud9 at the same time holding them close, and maybe should be a bit more confident with it. We'll see how the CT side campaign starts for them. It's going to be a quick contact A play. Not a chance. They're very ready for that on the Cloud9 side of things. Just going to be Synopsy and actually no one left, as not a single kill comes in and very little damage done. Cloud9, they'll take that.
Not bad, not bad. I mean, all it comes down to is B&E getting a little bit aggressive. We actually saw that in towards regulation, the late stages, off the back of the tech pause they had, where B&E had hit 15. They tried to send it in, they tried to go aggressive. It seems to be their default in a way to kind of catch C9 off guard, but Cloud9 have had those sort of rounds time and time again against what you would argue as better opponents, stronger opponents, like your G2s of the world. They're used to when you go fast, they can deal with that sort of pressure. They've got the util for it, and we saw exactly that. B&E, though, still only one Cloud9 mistake away from the game in their favor.
Nice find coming on to Swan Flatro again, trying to play thick and fast. BNE, it's been an awfully long time since they've been on the T side, and they are, you know, getting tired. They are getting fatigued. Just like Cloud9 were on the T side of their own, they, you know, look to try and find these really fast rounds, these really fast pickups, at least in the early stage, and it just goes south for them more often than not.
Yeah.
It's problematic. It's very problematic indeed, and we might see Cloud9, if this continues, we might see Cloud9 taking us to another overtime.
I think you're right. Things are on a bit of a knife's edge right now. Hot flash coming through as well. Space for Hobbit to create over towards ramp. Little does he know there's 2 ready and raring. If Shiro was to take a pop shot in towards wood, it would cost Synopsy his life. Time is ticking. B&E not often wants to leave things late, but they've got 30 seconds on the clock to work with. And Axel going to find Synopsy. It's also hard to crumble, but Hobbit re-peeked in towards a tough angle. But I still feel like this one's done. 20 seconds, surely. Surely, and Shiro's hitting shots like that. He's looking for another. He does get tagged through the bricks, but he answers back with a kill of his own. Shiro for 2. Up to 27. A C9 find. Round number 20 for them. The big question, Scriv. OT number 3. Once again looming. But B&E just need one. They just need that one more round to see if their map pick and what has been out.
Derby diem, de zgat in akşam geliyor. GG për bënej.
Has actually kept up, to be honest with you. It's not like it's fallen apart, not like it's gone chaotic and crazy as overtime, especially into a second overtime. Now you get into, you know, playing an entire another half a Counter-Strike nearly. We'll say BNE's T side has been very, very flat, very predictable, and just trying to rely on the individuals. With Cloud9, their individuals have really woken up into overtime. Axal especially, 35 kills right now. Nafany continues looking for his 40 bomb. No one as close to it as he is. Axal going to find another. Nice find onto a couple of players here. Brings it back into a 3 versus 3. But Axal's still alive. Covers himself off, makes sure everywhere's clear, and they will force the reset out from BNE. There is a flank coming round from behind, but they're very unsure of the timing on it. Shiro going to go looking. Juan Flatro surely has this angle, takes him down easily. That's the big frag. Axal will trade it, though, and make sure that the round is still on for Cloud9. Never out, not over until it is over, and Axal making sure that that is the case. Hobbit remains on the A-bomb site, and he's going to be called upon in just a matter of moments.
Yeah, single-handedly the best rifle in the world, Exile. 3 kills to his name, making this a possibility. Without him, this round would be in jeopardy. But once again, the clock is ticking, and Hobbit is finding Synopsy will fall. And in that being said, it's GX, the primary AWP, all alone. Ladies and gents, triple overtime is needed between these two sides as we are yet to decide a victor on Mirage. What a game we are getting here. And B&E, they will be kicking themselves. A flawless CT side answered back with another flawless CT side from C9. And it makes you think, Scriv, whoever takes a couple of rounds on T side in the OT, that might be all she wrote.
Absolutely mental stuff. Yeah, T-sides, as always in the overtime, you know, they really do plague the teams when it comes into the overtime. The T-side is what it's all about. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. We've got a great game of Counter-Strike to kick us off. Only the first map of the day. We've got a potential 8 more.
Yeah.
So, you know, certainly keeping us on our toes to kick things off. And all the Counter-Strike going to be played today. I'm sure that'll be the case. Voivoda up against Aurora coming up next, but we've not even finished the first map yet, so keep your minds firmly in on this one. Just a bit of time at the half switch over here, I would imagine. Rightfully so. We are, as I say, getting into playing, you know, another half of Counter-Strike, and now we're getting close to playing another entire game of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So really, really heating up, and I don't know if it can get much hotter, to be honest. We're at the boiling point right now.
I know. These two sides, inseparable. I think this is testament to B&E and their level as well. B&E have always been a side who play up to their opponents. We've seen it. The past couple of majors, it's always been the case for B&E. Overachieving in a way, right? They've always been such a solid side who are able to compete against the big hitters of the world. There is the new AWP. The replacement for the Doodle Law. I forget what that one's called, but I know it replaced the Doodle Law with all the controversy. We do have
it was a bit of a weird situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, very, very strange one. We do have a slight little tech pause as a couple of players have gone to the toilet.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yes, we have 43 rounds of Counter-Strike played and whatnot. It is being 42. It is heading into the 43rd in just a second. It has been a long old day here in terms of map number 1. On paper, we were already setting the story up for Vertigo to be pretty one-sided. Hence why we were kind of building on that narrative of maybe, just maybe, that Mirage was a bit of a necessity for B&E. It felt like, on paper, C9 had already locked in that victory over towards Vertigo, just because of how good we know they can be, with previous wins against the likes of your G2s, where they decimated them 16-6, Outsiders not even that long ago as well, 16-9, both of those in Pro League. We know what Cloud9 can do on that map. I mean, B&E, they love a bit of Vertigo, but they're just not as formidable on it. It makes you believe that Mirage is a must-have if they want to push it to that decider of Ancient, may I say.
Indeedy. Yeah, we did say. But so far, it just seems, you know, like the map not mattering as much, the matchup itself. We were expecting Cloud9, you know, to just come in with their strength of their individuals. Maybe the fact that Shiro had a slow start has made the difference in this game. I would probably say so, because Cloud9 are able to find the flawless rounds. When the pressure on, you know, you just got to ignore the scoreline at the top and just play it round by round. And it does get quite fatiguing, I would imagine. Back into the action shortly as the timeout of the half ends, and now we will see how things pan out into our third bout of overtime, folks. All the Counter-Strike today. It's what we wanted. It's what we're going to get. Starting off a long day with a long game. So maybe we need one of these series to put us back on schedule, but I don't care. I'm casting Counter-Strike all day, so I'm happy.
Exactly that. But you're back on the way. C9, of course, on that CT side to start things off. Now, I saw while we had a little bit of break, Kassad, been watching the game, and he was mentioning about Nafany playing in towards Con. He's going to do it exactly again. Once again, Nafany looking towards Con. Kassad, at home somewhere. Not a fan of it. I've got to agree, but then again, he is nearly on a 40 bomb. Axel 2, boasting on 37 kills. Say what you want about Nafany. and about his calling style, but he's fragging well today. They're looking over towards shore. Shiro, the big hit of the side, has been a little bit quiet. Gonna be tested. That's lightning fast.
Opportunity for some more as well. He's got to be careful with the reface because there is an AWP on the other side of this equation. They know he's around. They're trying to find him. Shiro, the king of these quick flicks. 3 from short. Good timing. Oh, over the fire as well. Could net him another frag. Not going to have the opportunity. This is a really weird game state that BNE find themselves in with all these players out towards short. How do they burst out? How do they get out of here? Nafany playing up close and personal. Misses out the opportunity for the frag, but it sets Shiro up. He's looking to go nuclear here in towards the B bomb site. Not a lot of time left. He's got support from Buster. He continues to land the flicks. And it's all down to GXX, who's being trapped in at short. Shiro will take him, and the 4K comes in. He's been a bit quiet, he has, but he hears us say that and finds himself a huge round.
Yeah, just as we were questioning Shiro and thinking, you know, what's happening? Why is he not as impactful as he has been in, you know, in the opening day Group A when he was on fire? Just generally, you know, third best player in the world. He finds his form. Lovely few shots from him. Gotta say, Nafany's gotta be finding one this Henry. Really good reactions, but at the end, it does not make a difference. C9 open up the bank and continue. But it's a really good run of form. That's 4 rounds in a row for C9 they found now. As they will take a lead, but Synopsy will find the opener. Buster overextends and gets caught.
These T rounds worth their weight in gold. So that man advantage is really going to be valuable then. Cloud9 have done very well, you know, just fending off against the aggression of BNE. Going to be kicking themselves. They let one drop early on. However, Nafany, the other B player, will manage to find the return frag. Hobbit, the king of the ramp hold at the moment. He's doing really well in regulation. Kind of fallen away ever so slightly. Juan Flatro getting cheeky, just walking in. You know, as you do. Ooh, difficult spray down. Nearly gets caught by Hobbit. Meanwhile, Axel, the danger man, he's been playing so well in overtime. Hidden away at Firebox. Will he get checked? Will he be expected? Probably not. Axel's been more lucid than this and not setting himself up in a rigid position. Going to go walking out, try and find the perfect timing. Does get one. Where's the second? GXX for the trade. Can he get it? They've got to deal with him. Nade comes in. Nafany, Shiro chiming in, making sure that the distraction of Axel is not in vain, and a touchdown nade right in the face of GXX will get Cloud9 23 despite going a man down.
Huge round to pick up, and it all comes from Axel just staying alive. That's all he has to do. Park up, pump the brakes, wait and buy time for the rotation to come through. They can give her a bomb plant. They don't care. Because all that matters, they're going to find that round in their favor. That's 5 rounds in a row now for Cloud9. What a performance we're seeing from them. They are on fire. Their CT side, it just seems to be unstoppable. B&E on the T side, normally one of their preferred sides too. Crumbling at times. The consistency not quite there, but a good start to be found as Hobbit, who walks straight towards the scope of GXX. He's done that time and time again over towards Ram. Still, Hobbits, specifically and C9 as a whole, haven't learned their lesson. Opening kill, once again, going the way of B&E.
Shiro. Oh, gonna need a big flick in just a second. Oof. Okay,
oh, wow,
that would have been ridiculous if he landed it. It's funny because the one time, if he'd taken his time, that's a free frag because the guy did not consider him in connector at all.
It was back turn.
Yeah, it would have been so free. That's so unlucky, but we'll see whether he can find any more in the round itself. Molotov going to keep him at bay as they go in for an A execute. Nafany down below does manage to get one, wants to get off this rock though. He actually gets another frag. Oh no, BNE maybe letting the round slip away into the 2 versus 2, sorry. All the same, it's all happening so fast. The Deagle out. Shiro does go down, doesn't find the frag. Has he set it up? Buster, full HP against 35. Touchdown nade. Yep. And that is another flawless half coming in from the CT end.
Nafany up to 42 kills. What a game. What a game we are getting right here. This is just ridiculous. Nafany, not one we call upon in terms of the fragging department, but he is delivering time and time again. This is just insane. All we're calling on now is one T-side round. We had the same argument, the same conversation.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
Over towards B&E, where we said all we needed from them off the back of their flawless CT side was just one on the T. And they couldn't deliver. Can Cloud9 dive deep into the strat book, just pluck something and a nothing? Can Groove, Nafany, combined a master plan just to get one round over the board? All it needs is one mistake from B&E. But the big thing for me that we've seen in those past 2 rounds is both times B&E will find the opening kill, have the numbers advantage, and still fall flat. They're crucial rookie errors that you can't be making at this sort of level.
Very true. All right, let's see these T-side rounds. Oh, man. $26 to win. No. Yes?
25.
25? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They got 3 in a row flawlessly.
Yeah,
okay,
25.
it's a best of 6. Oh,
That's
man.
it. 22, 25, 29.
I've gotten too used to, you know, some of the other hoods have the scoreline on there. I've forgotten the maths. It's been a while since I've been in a triple OT.
Yeah, it has. I don't think, as long as we've been working together, I don't think we've even had a triple OT. We've had a couple of doubles. I feel like quadruple seems off the card now. Cloud9 just look too strong right now. Saying this, we know how fallible their T-side has been, though. Not exactly being the most consistent one. Flash O's up Molotov, playing in close. Nafany has been loving this position, but Hobbit ticking. That'll give away his position. They know he's close. Missed shot by GXX. He's forced off the angle.
Hobbit with the creep play. Looks set to be a B hit. They go for this quite a lot. The crunching towards B once they get the short control. Some nice nades. And no real damage coming off just yet. Synopsy going to find Nafany on that secondary orb. GXX a little asleep. Lets the cross come in. Axile's managed to work his way out on towards the bomb site. Rigon still holding. What is happening here? Down goes Buster. Rigon going to be known. Axile not fast enough to find his head. Hobbit finds Soneri. Axile has to get one of these kills. Can't make it work. Hobbit been spotted. Should easily be taken down, and that'll be the round. As BNE, oh, it's starting. Looking set on the CT side to get him rolling. That was pretty dominant.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. It's already starting. This is... Yeah, this has just been the story, hasn't it, of OT? Flawless on the CT side and so beatable on the T side. And for both teams. Granted, Mirage, I think statistically, at the end of the year, the 3rd most CT-sided map. And this is prior to the Ancient changes. Ancient was number 1. Nuke number 2, Mirage number 3. With the recent changes, Ancient becoming very T-sided. You can even make the argument that Mirage is the 2nd most CT-sided map in the pool. And it's definitely showing. It's living up to those claims. It has just been round after round. We haven't seen a T-side look confident yet, really, at all. Space Creator, Nafany's got his way in towards ladder. That's huge, but they know he's there. And the question is, what can he do? He's going to get peppered with Util. Molotov, will it force him in towards the engagement with GXX? No, it's okay. A little bit toasty in the ladder room, but he stays alive. It's all that matters.
They're very ready for him up there as well, though, is the thing. So I think they'll aim to keep him up there for pressure. I don't know that Nafany's really going to get the opportunity to do very much from this position. Ooh, gives a little peek in. And thankfully, GXX has gone to switching up the angles rather than just posted. Because he would have been dead if he was posted. It would have been a frag coming in for sure. Axile drops his AK. Whoopsie daisy. But all good. No hard feelings. I think he meant to drop a smoke. Either way, they're going to worm their way in towards this A bomb site. Buster with the swing out. Very aggressive from Cloud9. Not the usual wind the clock down, wait for the burst to come round. Shiro trained onto GXX, who can't find a frag. Juan Flatro been looking good with the rifles, of course, but will only get one. Is it going to be enough? No, it isn't. Synopsy falls 4 versus 2. Cloud9 are in the position to solidify the victory, and they have somehow managed to keep Nafany in towards middle while all the carnage has been going down. It's just Rigon. He's fragged out of his mind, but he will frag no longer. 25-22, and Cloud9 take it.
What a game. What a game we've just been treated to. 47 rounds of Counter-Strike in the end there, 25-22. It's been a ridiculous showing, but that's tilting for B&E. To lose that in that fashion, 15-11. They should have seen it off. Then there's a tech pause, which maybe shouldn't have been called. A tech pause after that as well, which did cost them a lot of that momentum, a lot of that kind of, heat that they had. The cogs were in motion. They were whirring. And it all went quiet. They went cold and they felt it. And I think the big thing when I look back, considering as well that B&E won both pistols, the big thing when I look back at it is just a lackluster T-side rounds at times from B&E. That cost them, especially in towards OT. We just could not see B&E on that T-side find form. And now we look towards Vertigo, and we've already spoken about it. CLOUD9 dominated G2 16-6 not that long ago in Pro League. Battered Outsiders, the major champions.
Djem këtë lojë e opëm tash, e qetëm të qëtu, ka ma pak delay, edhe loja dytë fillon për 3 minuta. Njemi, qa.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the European Eastern Masters. We are here, of course, with more of the action. Really looking forward to getting into our second map. It's been a long day already. We've only had the one map, triple overtime required so far between Cloud9 and BNE. Cloud9 going to steal away their opponent's map pick. Started off on the T side. You know, it was an interesting kind of move for Cloud9 and nearly backfired for them ultimately, but now they will move on to Vertigo, which is their own pick, and of course I think they will be ready and raring to go to get onto this map, a map that they're very, very confident on right now.
That's a big tilter for BNE, right? I mean, it's a map in which they played good yesterday. We know it's kind of a pocket pick of theirs where they're feeling confident on it. And they probably saw the match against Aurora where they were like, well, we can beat them. We can, you know, one up here. And they get so close, 15-11 up, and then things go sideways. The pause gets called. They get a tech delay as well where Devil Walk drops out of the server. So they have to kind of buy time for him to come back in. And because of it, BNE just ice out. Now we go towards Vertigo, and it's just C9's map all day. We know, like I've already mentioned, how good they were against G2 and Outsiders recently. And we're looking at recent history. While BNE aren't bad at this map, they're definitely more shaky. This is going to be very, very difficult. C9 at the moment on a 3-map winning streak when it comes towards Vertigo.
Indeed, well, Gamers Live, not wasting any time here. We are very quickly into the second map between BNE and Cloud9, hoping to keep things heated up and interesting, but we'll see. Cloud9, of course, we have all the confidence in them at the moment to take the 2-0 now that they've got that first map. Rigon, first line of defense. Down he goes to Axile. Molotov very quickly deployed on towards Synopsy over at the sandbags, and he's just beaten down by the Glocks. Canary does well to find one here, but overwhelmed eventually. Cloud9 with a very quick, very aggressive, and most importantly, very successful pistol round coming in. Juan Flatro's so blind. And that will be Cloud9 with a statement round.
Yeah, statement's one way of putting it. What a start for Cloud9. Not slowing down at all. Yes, you had a 10-minute break or so in between the two maps. And it means absolutely no difference. C9 still absolutely red hot. And it all starts so well. Rigon falls, and they got a little bit of space to work with. They clear out the sandwich player. The sandbags player with the Molotov coming through. And it just allows for these isolation of fights to come through. With BNE, they were playing constant rotates, but they were constantly being forced off into really awkward fights due to the utility. Into the second round. We're going to see a full bite coming through from BNE with Rigon in towards a FAMAS, but aside from that, just a couple of Deagles to work with. It's a little bit janky. C9, good opportunity for them to cement themselves into a 2-0 lead.
Molotov down. Nafany will go down. It's a pretty important early frag. Synopsy gets his hands onto that FAMAS as it just trades hands. But yeah, Nafany looking for an early entry and not able to find it. Rigon, meanwhile, goes pushing in, loses his life. Oh, that's ever so slightly embarrassing. At least Synopsy is there to trade and make sure that it's kept in a man advantage scenario. Juan Flatro goes down. This is a really weird kind of round here. Just a few picks here, there, and everywhere, but it's back into a 3-on-3. And with the stronger weaponry that they have and the control towards mid, Axile's going to get a catch here. Yep, he nearly finds the frag onto Synopsy, but at the very least, you know, has bought the space that his team are after to maybe try and bail the bomb out. Going to be left low. GXX falling to Buster, though. The A-bomb site weak, and Cloud9 will abuse that fact.
Yeah, it did a weird round. You can see C9 tentative. Just don't know where to look, where to go. That being said as well, bomb will go down. Post-spawn sets up. Henry looking in to isolate these fights. He walks straight in towards his demise. To the hands of Buster. Been a good start across the board, really. Everybody hitting their shots. We looked in towards that previous game, and Shiro very quiet, opening things up in towards that Mirage. He was 1-8 at one point. And now, everybody playing their part for Cloud9. Has been a very decent start with a BNE, like we've already spoken about, being pulled out of rotations into these weird and awkward, wonderful fights, like that one for Axile to win. That was a full investment for BNE. Walking away with only a couple of kills is going to mean they're into a pretty awkward eco in towards round number 3. So again, C9 another somewhat shoe-in of a round, a gamble stack here. Will he get cleared? Shiro and the MAC-10 find one. And they notice a lot of fire over towards the B site. Surely they're going to know now that the A site's open.
Yeah, I think they will. The Deagle here of Axile going to go down. Unfortunately, Shiro sticking around to maybe find a frag, but does need to be careful not to give too much across. Don't want them gathering kill bonuses and the like. But, yep, as you said, a bomb site they recognize is fully ripe for the taking. We'll get that bomb plant down. And Cloud9 worming their way through easy rounds at the moment. Nice find onto Rigon. Nafany, there you go. Lovely stuff, getting the eco frags. He was having a pretty damn good game, particularly on their T side in the regulation of the previous map. So he's hoping to tap back into that again and lead from the front.
And Nafany went 43 to 33 in that first game. 43 kills is pretty insane. Yes, of course, it wasn't triple OT, but even still, got to give the guy the credit. He was consistently fragging over towards that first map, and if he continues that sort of form, ooh, things could get shaky. Now, as we look over to the right-hand side, open play for Shiro. Same can be said for GXX. It's an important round, a swing round, in fact, in the sense that for B&E, find this, they could shunt this momentum for C9. But if C9 can conclusively take down the CT side, it will just shatter their funds.
Fajnie, diakty si jakąś żonę po sketch to, a GG.
Great start into the round. Is there going to be any more for any more? They're hoping to, you know, pick up the pieces and not let any more rounds go the way of Cloud9. But this one starts off very well indeed. GXX trained on the angle. Buster just holding, but not going too far around that corner, and rightfully so. Oh, thinking about it, and the shot comes off from GXX, does actually miss. Buster therefore able to take the mid control, and Cloud9 really looking good from the front, really looking good while they are dictating the pace of this game so far.
It goes quiet off the back of it. Doubling back over towards that B-stairs position. Right now, C9 haven't made the decision, and we saw this quite a few times over towards Mirage, and it was costly. Leaving the round too late and not giving themselves time to go for an execute was always the bane of their existence. The Wood player still alive and kicking. Will they clear him? The answer is no. And Flatro, it's a freebie, and alongside Tenery, they have just completely pounced. C9 are falling apart.
Yep, certainly looking that way. Hobbit robbed of an opportunity to find one, will go down. It's just going to be Buster remaining. He does make things costly, but no time for him to get the round done. Does need to be careful he doesn't go down after time. They're actually miles away from him. He's going to scoop up an AWP. Not bad. But yes, Cloud9, despite having the first one, they got the first one very early indeed. They just wound the clock down, playing like they're kind of behind, playing like they're on the back foot. And BNE will just abuse that fact. And, you know, it comes down to a random factor that it's like, oh, well, if he's Wood, I guess we're a bit screwed. If he's not, then we get some control. So not very convincing from Cloud9.
No, and we saw this to Mirage quite a few times. This is what we said C9's T-side was lackluster. It was because of rounds like those where they're leaving things so late. GXX, nice opening pick. Axel will fall. A massively important kill too. The big heavy rifler. Towards C9, dropped early in towards the round. But speaking of, the guy who got all the frags, Nafany, the leader, just in front of the smoke.
Nothing presenting just yet. Kind of playing on his own is Nafany. Hobbit is there to back him up, but Nafany is really looking for these aggressive peaks, hoping to throw himself into the entry role. Molotov comes round. Now the burst. Rigon going to be left incredibly blind, but he's covered off by the AWP that has not been dealt with here. GXX in for two. Buster from Ivy hoping to find something. Does get one. Should be easily traded, I say. Oh, gets a bit weird, but there's so many bodies around that corner ready for the repeat to come in. Not a chance, and BNE will very quickly move up to two.
Yeah, good work. Nice work coming through from BNE. Cloud9 starting to look fallible once again. We've already spoken about this. When they get a little bit shaky, it can become a bit of a rut for them. And now this C9T side, since the full buys come out and play for BNE, they've been nervous. Not the same approach that we saw against that low buy, where they're confidently taking fights, confidently relying on their Angels. That is B&E's style of play. Of course, they're quite a methodical team, but they're so heavily relying on the fundamentals, on, you know, the individual stepping up. Very, very aggressive Counter-Strike coming through, and once again looking for more of it. Speaking of though, Shiro and the Tech 9, look at the space he's created. Back turn, and nearly cost him his life.
Almost. Rig on the off. Goes wide. Going to cost him his life. And now Synopsy's got to be careful not to go down as well. They're going to take that one kill and get away with it. But unfortunately, Juan Flatro here on the flank is just making sure that they are sealed in. Oh, nearly the kill for Buster. That's sad. That's unlucky. But BNE have really quickly evened this one up to 3-3. And now, you know, you really start to worry for Cloud9 as they are sort of struggling once the rifles have come into play, in fact.
And BNE look way more confident in terms of their approach to Vertigo right now. It's not exactly looking how, you know, Cloud9 approached G2 or Outsiders like we saw in Pro League. This has been a much more kind of tentative approach in the sense that they know BNE are going to be aggressive. They know on that CT side they're going to be taking early fights. And you can see they're always holding, waiting, and expecting those sort of rounds to come through. It's just not looking too good right now for C9. We want to see the individuals find that confidence, find these peaks. And speaking of Nafany, he peaks, he's lucky to still be alive.
He is indeed. Very trimmed off. Now what for Cloud9? Ready and waiting at the bottom end of ramp. But not much coming in. Rig on. Trying to work around a smoke here. I'm not entirely sure that's where it was supposed to go. But he'll make do with it. I don't think it was, because his teammates just come in and throw one down. It actually works for Hobbit there. Finds a cheeky frag. Synopsy, thank God, is around to trade, because that really could have been an embarrassing moment. Still, 4 versus 4 is enough for Cloud9 to work with, and they are playing very patiently around the ramp area.
Little do they know, like ships in the night, they've walked past Synopsy. But he hasn't heard a thing. C won't even know as well that they've pushed past him. Now they will. Here's the util. Synopsy's still staying tucked. He's waiting for a mistake. He's waiting for someone to walk his way. And there it is. Buster will fall. Back turn, then he might fall to the hands of Nafany. That is the case. IGL dropping one, but on the site, Axel will fall to the hands of one. Flatro bomb dropped. 15 seconds. Time is ticking. And Shiro needs a masterclass. And of course, when called upon, will deliver a couple of kills, but he can't quite make it the third. All he needed was one more bullet. But it was just too much to ask.
BNE once again matching up against Cloud9. That was a crunch round, really difficult. And they are able to take it. This is really impressive stuff, carrying on their form that they found on Mirage. It wasn't quite enough. It might not be quite enough again, but the T side from Cloud9 has started kind of slow, if I do say so myself. They had a dominant pistol, but since then they've really been stuck for ideas and getting bested. Not easily, but getting bested. Hobby going to open up onto Juan Flatro. Double nadage down towards... Will take him down. Shiro quickly to fall. They tried to get aggressive up the ramp, not going to work out.
3 versus 4. C9. What is a little bit of a middling buy. Just Hobbit with the M4A4 now. Scooped up off the corpse of Juan Flatro in his hands. The plan is looking like it's going to be over towards B. They struggled to get space on towards this site already. Nice little angle there. With 51 floors up, Hobbit going to find one kill, but he'll fall to the flames. Deep flash coming through, but it's just the Tech 9. And an Eagle for Axel and Buster. M4 scooped up. Once again, this one just looks impossible. A 2 versus 4. And Axel's on 13 points of HP.
They'll be happy to get a return on the investment, though. I think that's what they're after at the end of the day.
True.
Yeah, so they'll be cool with this. If they can get any more, it obviously, you know, makes things very costly for that CT side. So the CTs have got to be careful not to drop any more. Rig on with the spot. Smoke goes down. He'll call for some assistance, I would imagine. But pretty slow on the upswing here from Cloud9. They don't really have, you know, an awful lot to work with. So it's to be expected. Axel falls, as does Buster. So it doesn't go super costly. And now BNE, you can see, on fire, because it's 5 in a row for the CT side.
Deservedly as well. BNE all over them. We came into this and we were, you know, building up these storylines, and we were really talking about how Cloud9 have been so good in this map recently. But each and every game is different. And with how close Mirage was, I wasn't, you know, kind of questioning essentially what BNE were going to be like. Whether that loss on Mirage would tilt them to a point where this becomes a very, very difficult sort of situation to be in. Right now, very good indeed. 5 in a row on the CT side and C9 on T side. Similar towards Mirage. Just not finding form, and especially not consistent form at that.
Very quiet here. Nafany gonna be the first to creep in. Will just be the usual utility going down, but so far, you know, BNE have really done well going into these late round situations. Cloud9 again gonna look to run the clock down, and again, we question whether they can find success with it. BNE have just looked so well put together. Decent nade damage done onto Hobbit. And things start off pretty poor. This is impressive from BNE so far. They've had a really well put together CT side. How long does it continue?
Nade coming through as well. Deep damage on towards Rigon. He dropped the 31 points of HP. Numbers both the same, but once again, Script, they're leaving things late. 25 seconds on the clock, and they still haven't even got space towards the site.
One Fatro. Aggressive on the post here. Does manage to find one. Can he get any more? No, he's traded instantly, but not a lot of time. 10 seconds to work their way in. There's so many bodies here. A smoke that Rigon can work around. Meanwhile, nade goes down. Doesn't quite finish Axile. Is the spam going to do the job? GXX? No, he's not close enough, so they'll get the bomb in. And now they've got a 3 versus 2 to work with. Now just a 2 versus 2. Chaos on the A-bomb site, just down to Shiro. Great shot on the first. Looking for the second. He will be denied. And BNE not slipping. 6 in a row comes in for the Bad News Eagles.
Ridiculous. Well played. Well played. Stellar stuff coming through. BNE absolutely flying. This is great work. Great work. And once again, we have to ask questions about Cloud9. I know it's this style of play, and it's a very kind of CIS style of play. Very, very reliant on late round executes, pushing on towards the site with sub 30 seconds to work with. But it becomes a point in time where we have to ask questions about when they're going to change it up a little bit. Try and change that tempo. Go a little bit fast. Take the, the fight to BNE. Try and beat BNE at their own game. Because right now, leaving things slow is costing them. Rigon spots Nafany. As Nafany walks away with a kill, the IGL still keeping a decent little run of form.
Keeping it competitive at the very least, but as said, BNE on 6 rounds in a row, really flying on this CT side. Cloud9, again, it is very matchup dependent. The map itself might look good, but BNE do not care as they go wildly swinging in quite often. Synopsy will go maybe a bit too wide on that one. Either way, man advantage for Cloud9 hangs in the balance. Hobbit and Shiro both very low here.
Foster doubling back. To join up with Axel. Shiro looking like he might walk in towards his demise. He does. While the numbers were favoring BNE, now everything does, including HP. Foot spotted. Molotov to come through as well. Once again, time is of the essence with 40 seconds on the clock and a Molotov drop. I don't know. They'll have about 20 seconds to work with once this molly goes. They don't have a smoke to extinguish it too. What is happening? Hobbit's nowhere to be seen, but one Flasher will fall through the wood and Axel makes it a double.
GXX with the AWP. On close, not ready. And Axile will take him down. Big round coming in for Axile. Cloud9 finally put a stop to BNE. And again, it is this super contact-heavy kind of play style, but it works for them on the B side of things.
Yeah, I mean, for Cloud9, yes, it's all well and good finding success. It does make you ask a couple of questions. It's still a little bit janky, very reliant on Axel stepping up to the plate, which he does. It's great. That has been the story of Cloud9 at times. If Axel and Shiro really aren't hitting their shots or finding their form, is this side going to do okay? Thankfully, Axel delivers when asked of. So, 6-4. While BNE went on a hot streak, 6 rounds in a row. C9 are still just hot on their tails, and the money has been shafted over towards the CT side. GXX and AWP in play. That's basically all they've got to work with.
Hobbit. Boosted up. Oh, they're going for a two-man peek here. GXX on the contact, looking to get the frag round the corner. Down he goes. Hobbit with a big one. Flatro might be a little unknown here. The smoke does go down to make sure they can't get any more ground. And the AWP, of course, going to be recovered there. They're going for the quick boost up. Nice nade damage onto Flatro. Down he'll go here, not ready for the boost. It was just Hobbit on his own in his mind. But he's got mates. And Cloud9 taking mincemeat out of this round. Nice find from Toneri. Any for Rigon? Yep. Of course. Got to get those deagles working. But the round itself, not really looking too likely. Rigon has retrieved the AWP. Goes down to Nathan, who's in an advanced position. And an easy finish in the end comes through for Cloud9. They will close the gap nice and quick, but we need more rifle rounds out from them to be convinced of their prowess here on Vertigo.
That's it. That's it. We take a breather here as well as BNE, of course. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It was that somewhat low buy, just the AWP in play, which gets immediately deleted. See now on the tails, up to 5. We're looking at C9 on towards the CT side. That's when we're going to see them find form. BNE need to build up a wealth of a lead here. I'm looking, you know, to be honest, at the likes of 9 rounds where I feel comfortable. We know both of these two sides struggle on the T side of Mirage. That was their biggest weakness. And you'd probably even make the expectation of more of the same. In towards Vertigo. Nade's coming through. I'm going to spot too much here. Axel holding and waiting. It's a small tag, but it's not too problematic. Double nades come in. He only loses 11 points. C9 look towards ramp.
Synopsy. Up close and personal here. Ready for Hobbit to come around this corner. Going to win the fight out. No opportunity at the trade. Oh, there's Nafany going for it, but missed times. No one can trade him. What's happening? They got all the players on ramp, and yet this guy comes away with 2 solo kills. Buster going to go creeping in. Very cheeky indeed. Double spray down for Buster. Nullifies all that earlier stuff I was talking about, and he keeps on going. Buster unstoppable, apparently. That's going to allow for the bomb to go down. He'll get the plant in, might lose his life. Big damage onto the AWP, but Shiro readjusts. And that will be the round going the way of Cloud9 in a matter of mere moments. A broken bye for Bad News Eagles goes south fast.
Safe to say chaos was kind of the right call there. But it works. Cloud9 thrive in said chaos. Into his ramp, and it started poorly as well. And this is the big thing. And that has been the story a couple of times for Cloud9. They'll start off some of these rounds where it's looking really poorly for them. And another 5 versus 3 go in the way of C9. They did it in a massive swing round in Mirage. Turning a 5 versus 3 on their heads. And this could be the big one too. As you mentioned, the economy shattered. Nafany getting space over towards ramp. Everything starting to pan out from what was a bit of a middling first half. It's working in their favor now over towards B. Axel for the first and the second as well. He's just so damn quick, and this man can't be stopped.
Lovely stuff from Axel. Glad to see him activated here. He's 15 and 8. They might be the easy eco frags, but he still makes it look better than most in the world. Cloud9, it took them some time. They seem to have figured BNE out, and now it's a question, how deep does their rabbit hole go? Can they get the same kind of streak rolling? Already very quickly up to 4 in a row. I can read, but yeah. Just to reiterate, because I know what people are like.
I wouldn't mind a pause here. I would not mind a BNE pause here. This is potentially their last 4 by the half. Lose this. Not only did Cloud9 find 8, but it re-breaks their economy. They're stuck in this cycle. We talk about it. The harsh cycle that can be CT Counter-Strike, full buy-in, failure to find success, double eco, rinse and repeat. It's a horrible scenario to be in, and Cloud9 are kind of forcing BNE into this trap. You can see them getting nervy because of it. Pop shot coming through. GXX, it just whizzes past his head. He's a very lucky man, and he knows it, and he'll fall away.
Flash over the top. Axel creeping around, getting very cheeky here. Oh, the peek comes in. It was just a timing-based play. They thought they'd got him in so deep that he might be able to get away with one. He was so close to finding at least 1 frag, but it does escape him there. GXX going to be heard. I think he's trying to bait a peek with the jumps, to be honest. He's done it quite a lot. And there you go. He eventually baits a peek with the smoke. Shiro with the trade. Not a bad exchange in and of itself, but there's still a man down in the round. Here comes the flank. And there goes Shiro up on the top side, finding success. Oh, it's all fallen apart again for BNE. They were so ready for this one. They started off well, but they cannot keep it going.
That's it. You saw it already. A 5 versus 3 turn on his head. And this one looking quite similar. Oh, Senna, he's so unfortunate. If he peeks in towards ramp, he gets the freest of kills. Rigon with the AWP will fall, and that'll be all she wrote. He's flanking, and look who's holding it, the danger man. Shiro about to net himself, I'm sure, the freest of kills. No, I speak too soon. He's going to fall away. Of course, I guess, does have the bomb in hand, and it needs to go down at some point. With 15 seconds on the clock, they make sure to lock that one in. It's only just going to save with 15 points of HP. And it's going to be C9 up to an 8. They guarantee a lead at the half. T-side Vertigo can be a bit of a cruel mistress. But C9 have controlled it. From what was a poor start, turn it back on its head. And now we look towards B&E. I don't think the buy is going to be anything too spectacular in towards the next. Senary, even for him dropping one over, might be a little bit of a tough ask.
He's going to just hide away at the back end, though, in the T-spawn. In disguise. Yeah, looking very scary here. CLOUD9, they're going to be the ones on fire now. Oh, and Scenario goes down as well. That is sad. That is very sad indeed. Here are the Shiro kills that we kind of missed. What with the flank coming in. All too easy for CLOUD9. It took them a while. It took them a good while here, but they ultimately are able to find, you know, a very solid 5-round run, looking for a 6-round run as well. Going to take the advantage moving into the second half. Exactly what you want from them at this point. Really good stuff. And yeah, definitely showing why this is their map pick. A great little comeback into this first half.
That's it. 5 from the trot for C9. This T side has been so strong. B&E. What has happened? From finding form of the rifles and being unstoppable since they had a full buy in their hands, 6 in a row for them. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You look over towards that CT side and the buy is problematic to say the least. Senary and one flatter towards the M4s. And I don't think really anyone else can pick one up. Rigon, it might have to be a FAMAS. Yeah, exactly. Just a FAMAS for him. Bit of Uto. So one pistol, one MP9, one FAMAS and a double M4 to make this one work, or to at least try for B&E. I said I'd like to see Bad News go up to 9, but right now it's looking like C9 will hit number 9 as things are panning out. But so I say, GXX will find the first.
Trying to find a fight towards middle as well. It doesn't really present itself. They're going to have to reconsider this entire round with that first kill coming in. Incredibly difficult for CLOUD9 then. The first time in a long while that we've seen them go down early and down quite cleanly as well. You know, GXX finds the kill, backs away, all that good stuff, right? They don't really lose any information or anything of the sort. It is a heavy kind of B play at the moment. A really heavy B play. Going to rotate Juan Flacho around with that M4. Rigon going to be here as well, because it was only a deagle for a moment, but as the nature of the map is, you know, very quick rotations, of course, for that CT side. And once the utility starts coming in, they smell the rat. They're ready for this one. Uh-oh. Here comes the bloodbath. Who's going to come out on top? Axel only good for one. Shiro, though, he finds 2 on the AK. Hobbit chiming in, finding the space. Scenario with his A1S is now the only one left against 3 in total. It's tagged one down very low indeed. There is a kid available. Finds Buster through the smoke. He might just get this done. Hobbit's leg's going to get spotted, and Scenari comes away with a huge 1 versus 3 to net number 7 for BNE, bringing it as close as is humanly possible at the turn of the half.
A massive, massive round for B&E to see off as well. That was looking like CLOUD9 with answer back with 6 rounds in a row to close out their T side. Now, centering other ideas, needed a magician, just someone to step up, make the difference. And with a small amount of HP to do it as well. Well played, really, really well played. So, we enter the second half. Finest of margins, as even as it can be, with the lead in favor of CLOUD9, who now move on to the much preferred CT side.
Quick from B&E. Getting the control up towards the ramp area, hoping that they can find that hole. Not wasting any time. Just going straight in for the execute. Shiro, head down. They're closing the gap on him, though. It's going to be the Julies of Axel that chime in for the first. Hobbit has to leave his teammate out to dry. Nafany also going to fall to GXX. That's the big frag. 2 versus 3. Julie's in for Hobbit. Can't get anything done. Just Buster. Head of the first. Didn't quite get the clutch last time, and he will not get it this time either. It is BNE finding the all-important pistol.
Both sides running their T-side pistol round. Huge. Just gives them a bit of an early start on towards that, you know, attacking side where we can now see a bit of momentum start to run through for them. Nice full buy to come through. And in fact, Cloud9 aren't going to answer back with one of their own. I don't know if I really enjoy this all too much. Force buying into the CT side can always be such an awkward situation where you lose it out. B&E can make their way up towards double digits before the response comes through. It can be a 10-8 scoreline before they know it. And again, Shiro and a scout. He's pretty damn good with it. I'm going to count them out. Just, yeah, looking over towards Sandbags. Just want to get some clarification about clearing that angle. Little does he know, no one's there. 1-25 and B&E got ramp control, but they don't know where Cloud9 are set up or how many's even here.
Yeah. Very true. Late smoke goes down. They're going to go executing in again on the BNE side of things. That's not a tag that lands there. Might just save, to be honest. They've got hardly anyone in towards the bomb site itself. It's all going to come down to Nafany and what he can find. They line up for him, but the head on a swivel of Juan Flatro will go down to Hobbit. Ooh, the spam is clean. It doesn't get the kill. Hobbit, meanwhile, looking for this frag, will get it. Synopsis' head was right there, but he manages to find the kill onto the man going wild, and that brings it down to a 3 versus 3, looking pretty good. Rig on. Clean stuff from him. Clean stuff from Buster. There are nice shots all around. If there was a kit available, I'd maybe give them this, but they really do not have the time to work with. Shiro going to make it as costly as possible, but just out of here with this scout. Make sure he can take it into the next round. And that will be BNE finding the 9th, but my goodness, that is close.
They got made to work for it. Exactly that. I mean, you know, Shiro keeping the scout alive is the real silver lining overall. They really had to work for around their BNE. It's very expensive, and there's a massive silver lining for C9 in the sense that by making it so expensive, 4 out of 5 kills picked up, it will keep that T-side economy in check. Despite them winning rounds, despite them getting the additional kind of bomb plants and money and whatnot, it is just keeping B&E in a controlled factor. Reinvestment coming through, but for them, it's a Mac-10, a Galil. Not exactly the most dream buy, so to say, but for C9, this is going to be the second part of the eco. Once again, playing around the scout, a few pistols to work with, and a similar ask from us. Get a couple of rounds, we'll take a couple of positives, but at the moment, it's just a couple of kills. That's all we're looking for. Make it expensive. Juan Flatcher gets very lucky that his head doesn't get ripped off.
Nafany looking to get cheeky with it. In comes the flashes. In comes GXX from the side, though. That's kind of the man that's not really been expected too much. Nafany up close, rings off a shot. Somehow doesn't go down to GXX. What the hell? I thought he was dead to rights. A tag gonna land onto Synopsy here. There's a lot of bodies on both sides of the equation. Once these smokes go down, we could see a bloodbath come in. It's gonna be re-smokes as well. Just make sure that this sort of left-hand side of the site, depending on how you look at it, of course, but all the same, they are being kept at bay. Shiro gonna get the scout. Smoke across. Deagle across. Nafany does go down as they go barreling on in. All the kills go in the way. And there's the CT side chiming in eventually. Will be easy for Rigon. And that's going to be the 10th round. Just going through the motions here as BNE. Some of the moments come close, but ultimately double digits hit.
Exactly. You know, once again, we're looking at that round, and it's like we said coming into it, we're not expecting Cloud9 to fan around there. We're not expecting them to do anything. Get a couple of kills, make it a little bit expensive. Silver linings. But it's all well and good having these silver linings now. We now need to see a conclusive round come out. Cloud9, full buy for them. Shiro in towards the AWP. This is what it's about. A Huge opportunity for C9 to turn this back in their favor. Deep Nate going to come through as well. We'll do a small and very small amount of damage on towards one Flatcho. Is Axel going to play up close towards stairs? It's a tough angle to hold, but if he can do so, might single-handedly win the round. And here's the tick too.
Wild spray down coming through from BNE. Axel trying to catch, but can't get it done. Boost coming in. Been seen. Oh, and he finishes them off easily. Any more for any more. Axel, wow, that is confident. And it leaves Buster out on an island, and 3 quick kills for BNE coming in. Oh, was the re-swing from Axel required? Very, very confident indeed. Maybe even frustration coming in. It will spell the round for BNE, and Cloud9 set to save. And I say Cloud9 is just Shiro now.
Yeah, he's got his heavy up. There's no way. It was a huge opportunity for C9 and a must-win round. And the fact that they don't, things are now getting dicey. We've already spoken about this. We said this before things started over towards Mirage. But BNE are a side who look like they prefer the T side. Obviously, was not the case on Mirage at all. They struggled massively at times. And BNE will be the first to admit it. However, right now, pretty damn good. Up to 11, BNE, fantastic round from them once again. Against the full buy, formidable. 2 remaining alive. Is a really solid position to be in, and so far they are flawless on this T side. This is what BNE can do. When they get that snowball effect on the way, when they get the ball rolling, such a difficult team to stop, such a difficult team to keep at bay. And I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Really solid work coming out, taking aggressive fights, making sure their presence is known, and sort of making C9 feel awkward. You can see this side trying as best as they can to get opening kills, but it's costing them.
It's what triple overtime will do, man. You no longer fear your opponents, right? I think that's kind of one of the key things that we have to take away from that.
For sure.
First game. Really removes some of the unsurety. Ooh, how do they play? How are they feeling today? What are they going to bring to the table? Makes all the difference. Nafany up close with the D. Not able to find anything. They go creeping around Shiro. Potential for him to find multiple here. Somehow still alive. The Deagle of Buster cannot chime in, but there's a lot of damage that's been done. 3 versus 3, definitely not out of the realms of possibility.
Bit of Utah being dropped early as well. Trying to set themselves up in an aggressive post plant. The linchpin seems to be Axel. He's holding him for the flank, and they're not holding him. He could creep up and get a little bit of space. The pistols are keeping the attention drawn, but he actually might just be playing exits. It might be the port of call here. The classic exit in towards that back corner. It's being held for. Rigon was looking over. C9 aren't giving this a go. It's just a case and a point and a question of can Axel make it expensive before he inevitably falls. Swing comes through. Damage dealt. Both GXX. He might struggle to stay alive, and he will. Same can be said for Synopsy. Rigon will fall in exactly the same suit, dying after time. Doesn't really make a difference all too much. The bomb goes off. They're absolutely fine. BNE, no survivors. This is what we were saying for C9. While they may not be finding success, they're making it expensive. It's just keeping that BNE economy in check. But as you can see in towards the middle of your screen, that is fire in the trot. And that means BNE, flames on the logo, deservedly. They are on fire right now. Great performance coming through, and C9 just can't seem to get a read on them.
It's very surprising, to be honest. I was expecting a lot more out from Cloud9, but we've been denied a really strong showing, especially when they moved on to the CT side. Thought it was going to be possible. Axel with the double spray down, though, has got other things to say. A contact cheeky play from BNE has been thwarted out on B, and now all of a sudden there's only 2 of them that remain.
This is it. This is what C9 needed. This is the kind of the swing round in terms of momentum. Yes, it's 5 in a row. We actually saw the same thing happen to C9 at the end of that first half. 5 in a row, and then 1 on the end just gave BNE a bit of comfort. Made it as even as half as they possibly can. It's looking like, Scriv, they're going to call for a save. Or nothing to do with it. are barking up. We've got a 45-second wait here. And an opportunity for B&E to have a breather, a conversation, synopsis from the grave. I want to talk about what went wrong in that one. It all fell apart in a matter of moments.
Odjema, bo fitojma jo.
Maybe just maybe, B&E could opt for a timeout at some point too. We haven't seen all too many timeouts being called. And they can maybe pop one just to, you know, bring Devil Walk in towards the conversation. We know how smart this guy is. We know what he can bring to the table in terms of a conversation and how much experience he's got. You know, the age-old meme, Devil Walk won major. So, wouldn't be too bad to get a call on him. See if he can bring these guys up to scratch in terms of how to really continue their lead. But yeah, that save goal is locked and loaded. And it will be a 9th for C9. Axel.
Kanske hon plus
A couple of kills, more or less confirms it.
Me qitë na vetën vend ty në...
Easy stuff in the early portions of that round. Will be kind of an anticlimactic
Ishmin
finish.
years,
But no time are going to be taken here now. So bad news, Eagles rolling through the motions. Obviously, you know, got to be careful. We did see Cloud9 on that first map of Mirage in a similar situation where, you know, they started off kind of weak onto their CT side and then all of a sudden just turned the dial up to 11 as they so often do. Flashes coming round. A lot of aggression here from BNE. Cover from Shiro. Will be the 1-for-1 trade though. Certainly going to be happy to come away with a frag there. Need the support as well. Shiro being left out to dry. Left on 26 HP. There's Hobbit going wild. Will come away with 2.
Hade lujtë vend ty
Those
në
are the key
blok,
kills
Hazard.
in this round so far. 4 versus 2 scenario and Juan Flatro. The only ones left. They tried to go for some quick aggression on the BNE side and it's not worked very quickly. They got 5 in a row. As soon as they lost the round, they're taking it to super basic Counter-Strike. Says to me that they might be running thin on ideas. Really do worry for them if that's the case.
Yeah, and we saw this a couple of times, didn't we? You look back towards when it was 15-11. B&E, map point on their map pick. What do? Just a fast play towards that B side of Mirage, right? And they fall completely flat. They get absolutely mowed down. And then now you're looking at what we're seeing here, where for B&E, they've got a lead. They've, you know, kept and built up a pretty decent little repertoire on the T side so far with 5 consecutive rounds. And now they're just going for fundamental plays, which isn't the play against Cloud9, because we know what the individuals they have. The likes of your Axels and your Shiros. You're going to see a pause called. Thankfully, I would have liked it prior to that round. But better late than never. You see Age on Monica here. It's a good conversation, good opportunity like we already spoke about. Bring Devil Walk in. The new coach over towards B&E and did some really good work with him. I got to admit. Did some really good work. Hopefully now he can put them back onto their winning ways and continue to build on this lead that they've got. It's a 2-round gap, a bit of breathing room, but it's not exactly the most comfortable positions at all. Cloud9, they know all too well about it that, yes, there is that breathing room, but they are breathing down the necks of B&E. They're hot on their tails, and they will have a better buy-in towards this one. This should be C9 up to 11.
Should being the operative word, of course. BNE and explosive rounds. Never truly want to write them out of these scenarios. Shiro, though, when he's opening up with the big green and landing the flicks, you know it's all good. You know that the business as usual attitude coming in from Cloud9 will make everybody happy. Everybody except BNE fans, which, to be fair, there's probably quite a few of them in the old Twitch chat, I would imagine. They've got quite the support and the little Dragonite, of course. The
Classic,
meme that is.
Great image.
Yeah, fantastic with the flag.
GG,
Love
GG.
it.
Well, there we go. Very easy round. Put to the wayside. Cloud9 up to 11. Like we said, in that reaching distance now, the full buy will come through, but B&E are in this cycle. Full buy in, failure to find success, eco and repeat. They need to break it here. C9 is starting to make a tear. Both of these sides so momentum heavy. We saw it so much over towards Mirage. They're so streaky. And this is the thing. You allow C9 to get on a hot streak, they can be very difficult to put by the wayside, very difficult to stop. Synopsis, like he wants to push through the smoke. Molly will be dropped as well to try and keep them at bay. Nafany, he knows they could be close. And he'll find one.
Nafany looking good. And a little quieter on this map. It's been Shiro and Axile, the two members that you expect for Cloud9 to take over the game, and they'll keep that trend to come. And Shiro looking dynamic on the AWP as well as he swaps up his angles. But starting off, I mean, that's exactly what Cloud9 wanted. There is no way BNE should be able to fight back into the round. GXX has been gifted one onto Axile, though. Big name to take. And now the B defense really thrown for a ringer here. They've overcommitted. Is the bomb headed in? With all these flashes, you know, you'd say maybe they'd get scared off, but it looks like they are going to try and go for it. Half HP bars and the like. Not looking good from Gen. Shiro's got all the control in the world, just baiting in towards Nafany, who goes down, but Shiro will find his frags. Goodness gracious, hell of a shot from Rigon, to be fair to him, but it's just not gonna be enough. Nobody is around to back him. GXX drops Shiro, 30 seconds. Maybe a bomb plant. If they give the space across, he's as yet to retrieve the bomb, though. Maybe thinking he'd already got it. Nonetheless, Buster will take him down, and we are evened up 12-12.
BNE struggling now. They are really starting to crumble a little bit. This should be C9 getting the flames on their logo in a second. Going to be that low buy coming through where C9 have a fantastic opportunity to take a lead and then secure it. What a position we are in at the moment. I'm not feeling too confident for BNE, and I think they've got exactly the same mentality. They are a little bit nervy, and you can see it. And it seems to be the playstyle for BNE. We've already spoken about it. Very reliant on the individuals to step up. Very reliant on kind of, you know, mechanical prowess, the fundamentals of Counter-Strike. It's all well and good when you're against a side like C9, and when you've got individuals like, finally, your Shiros and your Axiles online from the get-go. It's a rough one. They coming through over towards top stairs. That's a Not Out Here special, so I'm doing a little video on that the other day. Buster's been watching the trick of the trade. Speaking of Utah, flash over towards stairs. It looks like that's where BNE want to pop.
Nice find from Buster. Axile lines two up. Easy stuff. Not a single kill coming through for the BNE side of things. Cloud9 are doing it. They've closed the gap. They've overtaken the gap. And they've got 5 in a row of their own. Streaky second half so far. But that is what we are after. Cloud9 proving why they are the favorites on this map as they find another level. The 6th gear has finally come in. And they look to continue the trend. BNE, yes, they've got a buy, but once again, they will sacrifice certain parts, right? Not enough utility to go around.
Things are working wonderfully for them. 5 in a row. These two sides so momentum heavy. And while it's all well and good when it's in your favor, when it's not, it's just horrible to break. And you can see BNE, they're trying to do anything they can, delving deep in towards the strat book to find success. A little bit of double stack in towards mid on the sandbags. Speaking of a stack, Rigon over towards B. He'll realize in just a moment that no one's here.
Yeah, kind of weird for Cloud9. Hobbit will make his way over. Flash comes in. Oof, risky. Very risky indeed. He could have gone down quite easily there. But yeah, they went for more of a mid play, it would seem. Still, all the utility coming in from both sides now. Juan Flatro. Hello? Uh-oh. Maybe a bit of a lag. I don't really know. I hope so, to be honest. Because I don't know what else to say about that. Jeez. Okay. 5v4. Cloud9 gifted a frag. Whatever the way it goes down. It absolutely shouldn't be happening. Contact A-play coming in. Nafany hidden away at the back end of the sandbag. Shiro finds Synopsy. Will get traded out by GXX. Nafany, meanwhile, is going to go unchecked. Should get the double here. Finds one. Looking for the second. Oh, and Soneri does overwhelming. Will be traded out by Buster in pretty good time. 2 versus 1. GXX with 10 seconds left. It's not a lot of time. Tap onto the bomb. They're not giving it to him, and that is going to be the round going the way of Cloud9. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, to be honest. GXX will grab his AWP, get the hell out. But Cloud9 have brought it within 2 now. Looking set to find the steal. I don't know. There's a bit of walk in there.
Yeah.
But I'm really not sure.
You know, I mean, we're kind of talking about the same sort of argument over towards C9. At times, B&E can lead things a little bit too late, and we saw it happen there. They just didn't have time to clear the angles. Over towards top, all they have to do is go 1 for 1. 6 seconds to get a bomb plant. And even if the bomb does go down, all Cloud9 had to do was play the numbers game, play for the trades. At the moment, B&E in such a rough predicament. GXX with the AWP, when Flasho investing in towards an AK, and alongside that, it's just a few pistols. And it feels like a must-win sort of round for B&E if they want to turn the tides. If they don't, it could be all over and Hobbiton behind. Oh, not like this. The bomb might fall in a matter of seconds. It does. Hobbiton got the bomb and the second too. He will fall to the hands of one. Flasho, but Buster stepping up on his own. Make that a second. Can he confirm the third? It does not matter. Nafany's in behind. What a round for Cloud9. They find 50 and series and grand final point on the line for them.
What a turnaround it has been as well. They find themselves 7 rounds in a row. It took them some time, but once they've got their claws in, B&E have not been able to kick them off. Really great Counter-Strike coming in from Cloud9. B&E again just kind of playing into their hands. Really, you know, stuck for ideas. Just keep the aggression coming. Keep the fights, the scraps. That's what they want, but it's easier said than done, and Cloud9 are used to it by now. Synopsy just goes flying in, as you can see. Nafany will be ready to meet him. Hobbit will be ready to meet him. Shiro out towards middle, reading the situation perfectly. They've got 2 players here. Are they even going to be needed? Because Shiro just is not missing. Rigon will be the only one left in the scenario here against all 5 of Cloud9. He does well to find one, does his job, but nobody else showed up today. And so he's going to be overwhelmed with work. Down he will go. Buster finds him, and that's going to be the 16-12-2-0 for Cloud9 to come through. They will indeed secure themselves into the grand final. And B&E, we have to wave goodbye. They were not good enough on the day. We said it was going to be tough, but look, 2 very, very close maps, to be fair to them, especially that first one. I think some great Counter-Strike coming in for B&E. They can be happy with how they perform, but not good enough to match up against the world-class players that Cloud9 have.
I think regardless of wherever you stand, whoever you support, you have to give credit towards B&E. What a performance from them, right? These guys, everybody, we all came in and we agreed that the underdogs in this game is Cloud9, number 10th ranked team in the world. What a performance. What a showing coming through. And I think, you know, either way, they could be happy with the performance they put up. I think realistically, though, the big thing to look back in towards that game, 15-11 up, and they check out, like, that's going to be what they're going to look back on. That's one that you'll struggle to sleep with, right? Losing out Mirage when they should have taken it. But credit to Cloud9, mental fortitude of the highest regard from them as they book their tickets to the grand finals and will be joined by one of Voivoda or Aurora, who are coming up next. What a game indeed for B&E. It's commiserations, but congratulations to Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9 ultimately proving, you know, what we know about them. They were the favorites coming into this tournament, and they look super, super solid. Definitely some shaky moments in there. The Vertigo, again, also looked a bit, you know, on the ropes in the beginning portions. It looked like B&E were going to be able to just abuse the aggressive plays and look really impressive, but in the end, not the case. So, you know, really surprising stuff, of course. That B&E, I think, were able to bring it as close as they did. I thought that we moved on to the CT side. Cloud9 just take over. Goodbye. They really did have to work for the rounds. Up until the very end, it started to get dominant to the end. B&E just running out of gas on Vertigo ultimately. Of course, so folks, we are going to take a break here. We've got another game coming up, and then we've got another game after that, of course. So all the BO3s for today. It's Aurora Voivoda after the break. Stick with us. Might be a bit of an extended one. We'll have the Counter-Strike coming your way sooner rather than later.
GG për ta, se kanë let vallaj. Kanë pas ekipin shumë të fort. s'ka loj mu djerë, tash veç cilat fitan Vojvoda ose Aurora shkojnë me këta kluda. GG për bënejen. E shimina nesër kësmet. Shimi nesër ose son të hi live djem luj pak në CSGO. Kush do marrë më këshyrë falemderit, kush do në apet falemderit, respekt për juve, shifmi, qa qa, kaloni mirë.